hello, hello. Yes, my microphone is unmuted. We are back again after a long delay. I assure you, we are finally back for some D&D craziness. And that is exactly what it is. I have redone as reruns the last few episodes, but effectively these characters have effectively, and I like using the word effectively, probably, have been awake for over 30 hours almost for these poor guys. They've had to use a potion to try and revitalize some of their abilities, and it's been a non-stop roller coaster ride for these people over all that time. And in a recap, I think I still have my chat box showing up. Oops. Oop. There we go. Fantasy Starbucks, LOL. But brain, come back to me. Yeah. Last session was double cross and betrayal. As oh my gosh, where's my NPCs? I got. You know, when you run too many games, you get too many NPCs. And Magazia, thank you. Magazia, basically, kind of did a bit of a double cross, and used the advantage of these guys taking out the Great Khan of this area, and she was going to be the next Khan, and went to betray them, but betrayal was met with another betrayal as that elf, who finally got up to his backup ship, like his ship's in orbit, his little landing craft and all that stuff had been, the smaller ships had been taken out earlier, suddenly approached. She took off when the battle on the deck of the ship went sour, and he showed up and damaged her ship a lot with his giant cathedral stone, well, actually bone cathedral-esque ship coming into view, so much so that its mass was greater than the mass of your ship, and you guys felt the change when you kind of came in contact with it, and it comes ramming in after devastating some of the hobgoblin fleet that's above the stars here, as you guys finally take control of the ship for the first time. Yet now he's showing up with his crew that he picked up from down below of a whole bunch of cannibalistic dark elf savages that I had mentioned before. And as I must state now, we have Lugnut, who is playing War, our barbarian. And we have Kavina, played by Sheila Bobby, who is playing our wood elf. We do have Siren here today, but she is Sans Camera today. But believe me, she's there. And she is playing Lilithophonia. I think I almost got that. I slurred it enough to make it sound like I said it officially. Or Lily. But sadly, Vit Rabbit is not feeling the best today. So he is... I've talked to him a bit, and I know what's happening in the story today. And we will be going without him. Do not worry about the death's head that I put in his spot there. He's totally going to be okay. Maybe. At least something that a resurrection could not fix anyways. So, that being said, guys, these poor people have had absolutely no rest, no time to catch up, and the potion they took is going to start taking a toll on them, meaning they're going to start passing out to sleep a lot, and now all this chaos is going on. So, without further ado, let's go back to the screaming and the chaos that's now happening. The group of you guys are still in the rear of that ship. And again, the ship itself is a large trimaran. The appearance of the ship is, if you're familiar with the old Roman or Greek style war barges that had the giant ram prow on the front of it, there's a massive ram prow centerpieced one that had a huge 30-foot long iron cannon that sticks out the front part. And then either side of it are two smaller versions of the same craft with their own ram prows attached to this giant trimaran of a ship. And it's in what they have in space. And at the rear of that craft is the giant Witchlight Marauder, sealed in a stone casing, the only thing that it can't chew through, with magical seals that Lily was wrestling to maintain the seals so the thing couldn't get out, or it couldn't break the stone. Wind discovered he couldn't use the cloak. It needed to properly rest and recharge, but apparently the artifact was able to pull into a section that he probably doesn't want to do again, or maybe he does, as it sucked life force to power itself. And he sucked up the life of some of the crew and was able to take control and was wrestling with control of the ship. And he's in a corner looking constipated, because he tried to shit out the egg twice or close his butt up to stop it from happening, which was one of the funniest moments in his stream ever. I think Siren just lost her shit with that one. I mean, that was really good. Lost her shit. Oh, we'll stop with this. But now the war forges were coming on, led by Magazia to take over the bridge. But then when the war forges realized that she was turning on them, they turned on the hobgoblins, and even some of the hobgoblins were confused. And all that confusion happened as her and a few others escaped in a boat, as the other large ship that I described earlier, led by the Void Elf, which, for a recap, he's been in the series as a background character, dark-skinned with a mother-of-pearl sheen and ultraviolet or violet eyes, all one solid color that just glow with white stark hair, as he is an elf of the void, and he was here all along for that cloak. That being said, now we get on. Kavina, Lily, you're still by the egg at the rear of this thing. At the rear, it's charged up. You're able to move. War, you had just defeated and dropped some of the people here. Rabbit's been in the back, in the hall that you guys have seen. And Kavina, you're actually still in the hall. You can see Rabbit. You can see in the room that's going on, the chaos that's been going on. You've just heard some war forges have come down. I think there's a bit of a fight going on. Like, basically the chaos is starting to calm down. You're with a bunch of war forges, and you're now getting the information that on the port side, which is the left side, that large craft has impaled the port side smaller boat, and a whole bunch of dark elves are now pouring in to that area. You guys literally are now what we call fatigued. You guys are actually at disadvantage for nearly everything except for going to sleep. You get advantage if you try to go to sleep right now. But you guys are really strained and all that, and Rabbit's still in the corner. Now, it's obvious something's going on because his cloak is got that purpley sheen going. He's got like the stars, a little starlight happening on the inside of the cloak. It waves as if it's in kind of some sort of, you know, it's like underwater type of thing. Like, and he's moving around even though he's just standing like a little manta ray or whatever. It's just kind of just moving around, and he's glowing, and his feet are like secured to the deck, and like magic veining going all over his legs to the deck of the ship. His hand is reaching out for balance, and you see the veining from his magical blue veins kind of just connecting to the walls. So it's clear something's going on. You feel the ship lurching and tilting and bucking a little bit as stuff's going on, and then the whole group of you guys are knocked to your ass, probably, except for Kavina, because I do believe out of all of that, she was the one that always kept standing. Oh, because part of the time she was just flying. You know, but yeah, the ship's lurched, and now there's signs of combat going on. So, effectively, guys, what do you do? This is the situation you're in right now.
What level of exhaustion are we at?
You're at fatigued. Which is the full stats is
fatigued. Fatigued isn't listed as a stage of exhaustion.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's not 5th edition.
No, it's not. So what level of exhaustion? 1 through 6.
Oh, it's 1 to 6 is how it is?
1 is disadvantage on ability checks, 2 is half speed, 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving
Just
throws.
the 1. Yeah, just the 1. You are, yeah.
So it's only on ability checks.
Only on ability checks? Yeah, you're just feeling strained. Okay. Yeah. But, yep, so...
In other words, guys, I need a nap.
And now there's more fighting! It's like... It's like, come on, seriously, time out, everybody.
I just need some more of that coffee potion.
Coffee potion. And to that, I drink.
Coffee potion.
I'm pretty sure Siren was the one out of all of us that didn't use it.
I didn't use the coffee potion.
Because most of her spells were all cantrips, so she didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
true.
I needed it for rages.
I need it for spells.
I just drank it for shits and grins.
But there was only 3 of them.
So, yeah, at this point, you kind of hear there's combat. Some of the Warforges now are quickly heading down the hall towards where the combat is happening. And that's when suddenly Wind throws his cat-like head back. And you just see like electricity and lightning just crackle from his body. And then you just see the walls shudder. What I mean is double exposure. You see the wall, you see the wall. One slightly faded to the other. You see 2 of your hands. You see 2 of him. You just literally see him separate a little bit. You guys just separate. There is this shudder, and then this horrific sound of cracking bone, bending wood, metal being put on its edges, and bolts popping from their seams, and a huge bugging sensation. And then out of that huge cacophony of noise, it goes quiet, and even the magical lanterns fade and dim, and it becomes dark and quiet.
Well,
And
son of a dick.
you just see Wind collapse. He's lost the connection. He's fallen. And then you start to hear screams on the port side. And then the slamming of doors and everything like that starting to happen. What do you guys wish to do?
Cry. A lot. You ever seen that video of the little girl on the beach that says, "I take a nap here," and just lays? She's like crying. Me right now. I'm tired. I'm probably hungry, and
Pie's
I
handing you a
don't want to
cookie.
deal anymore.
Well, actually, Pie and the ferret are kind of bonding over on the one side now, as he's talking to how the raisins get stuck in his teeth sometime, but that's one of his favorite cookies, and the ferret's arguing that no, a nice chocolate chip, because the chocolate chips will just melt. And he goes, well, chocolate's rare. It's more of a gnomish. That's what they're having, a little animal conversation going on. That's what...
Do these 2 not know what monster cookies are?
Everything. Oh.
Just saying, we can invent this. This does not exist in this world. We can invent this and make a lot of money, guys. More shopping.
More shopping.
This adventuring stuff does not pay well enough.
At that point, you see a Warforged come staggering in, and he looks confused as he's looking around for you guys. He's come from the port side. He just asked, what just happened?
Cat fell down.
At this point, there's kind of creaks going on, and you hear that sound, and you notice the section where he is, it's starting to flex back to normal. It's almost like he had a whole ship that's flexed and bent slightly, and it's now popping itself back into the wood beams and all that stuff. Like, this ship just buckled. He tells you that they were fighting the large ivory spear that had stuck into the side of this craft, and all the dark elves that were coming across from it, and then suddenly there was a shattering of bone, and he suddenly saw the big huge ship that was behind the spikes attached to the ship. The ship was gone. The spike was broken and shattered, and then suddenly got sucked out, and then all of a sudden it was like a vortex of wind, and everyone got sucked out into the stars. And then suddenly doors started closing to break off areas, and his other guys are trapped on the other side of the door. He hopes they're okay.
Were they Warforges?
Yes.
I mean, they might be They might have gone out there, but it's not like they need to breathe or anything.
At this point, you got other people coming in. The hobgoblins are there's a few hobgoblins that are kind of just raising their hands up in this area, kind of just going on as they don't know what's going on. The ship just jumped. They've never seen this before. It just created a disk of energy, and it went through it. It jumped. It teleported.
We just go through the far gate.
Can I move Wind?
Yeah, you can move. He's not attached to the ship at all. He's just got a floating.
Okay. I wanna take him, and then I wanna tell the other 2 to find a place that has air and keep it that way.
Though most of the hobgoblins here are familiar with what's going on, effectively, they've never seen they've heard legends and some very exotic ships have the ability to create a teleportation disc large enough to let the ship pass through. What they witnessed was a ring appear at one end of the ship and quickly slide backwards. We kept still, but the ring just pulled, and we don't know where we are.
Find a place that has air.
Oh,
And stay there.
that one hobgoblin. They're getting the reports done now. The ship has taken damage, but the wall of force has been established in areas where it could leak out. Our own air supply around the ship has been damaged because there's a part of science fiction and a part of fantasy right now that's kind of happening. So sorry, Lugnut, the science.
Oh, I know.
major.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the thought of our air supply being damaged is not good.
Oh, in any yes.
No matter what scenario you are in.
Basically, the hobgoblin tries to give you the quick lesson as he learned it. If you want to picture it, you know when you got soap suds and then a bubble breaks free from the others, it lasts the Earth, the planet, the Earth that we were on had air. When our ship leaves it, we create a small bit of gravity around us, and we create our own bubble of air around the ship based on how big it is.
Which is damaged.
Pardon? And
which is now damaged.
it only will last so long before that bubble becomes dirty air and pops and that stuff. And that was damaged in the act, so we don't have a mage alive on board to better tell us. Any type of ranger or nature-based person might be able to do if they're trained of testing the air and looks around at the most obvious-looking Kavina ranger type. I doubt you've been trained in that area.
I can test forest air.
Well, effectively, you'd be at a disadvantage, but you could do survival to try and test how the air is. But you're not too sure what that means in the big scheme of things. But
see, this is where having a Warforged crew
is really good. They don't take air up.
We don't need air.
Nope.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna make a great check of air.
They suggest you go up on the big deck.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Alrighty, I want you to roll a wisdom saving throw as you kind of you go up. By the way, that little map I gave you guys was actually the middle layer of a 5-layered. You got 2 layers below you and 2 layers above you. So you're going up the stairs for a bit, and you finally get to the major deck. And then, as far as the eye can see, you see like the night sky, but you literally have a purplish cloud, and like the image you saw on the opening screen there. That kind of, you got like a nebula effect, and the depth of stars is unadulterated. Like you can see, and your wisdom check is just how you take it. Like, that's all. Just you don't have to hide it or whatever. You can just do a little,
But do I still get disadvantage because I'm fatigued?
Nope, not for this case.
Not saving throws.
Not saving throws. Yeah, it's just like when you're using strength to climb or whatever, stuff like that.
So
your survival. Your survival will be.
Yeah.
When check
so is this a check or a save?
Saving
Sorry.
throw.
Save.
Saving throw.
My brain's off. Sorry.
All good. You're in awe for a bit. So basically, you could either come up and go, "Oh, that's really cool," but you did the whole.
I expect a mosaic of this later.
I was about to say, like, this is what we just had as a modern day reference. You came up. Click. 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 You know what I mean? It's like, I got to tweak this. Look at that. No, sorry, you know what I mean? Like, this is just beyond. This is like a beautiful. Like, if you were up in the Arctic, you might have something clear like this. But yeah, the large ship, and also you can see. One of the masts has got cracks on it. You see some of the side on the wooden rails and all that stuff. They've taken damage too. The trimaran looks really worse for wear, and you can see all this debris just floating. And it's kind of odd, because you know how a boat rests in water? And then you kind of have that wave? You've got debris that for some reason has fallen down to what you would consider the wave level of the boat. And it's just kind of floating there.
Strange.
And you also see there's bodies floating out there too.
That's sad.
And you actually see some Warforges throwing ropes and other peeps. Hey, Psycho, how are you doing?
So am I doing a disadvantaged survival?
Yeah.
Jig?
Yeah. And oops, there you go. 15. Well, it doesn't feel like mountain air. It just kind of the air seems to be okay. Like mountain air's thinner.
Air's fine. We're fine.
For today. For now.
For now, we're fine. We're breathing. We're good.
So, what do we want to do about these hobgoblins that are using up our air? Your air.
Not only do we have hobgoblins, we've also got some of these the savage dark elves on board.
Well, we're obviously going to kill them. They're trying to kill us.
So who's in charge effectively now? They're all kind of looking to you guys.
I don't know.
I don't want to be a
I'm an overseer.
Yeah, she's an overseer. The cloak is down.
At this point,
I need a nap.
the ship,
so
by the way, the ship
I'll
itself is
I
just
need
doing
a
a list. Like the trimaran is just kind of doing its list. And by the way, you know how it's got the cannon in the middle and it's got the two ram prows? You literally see one of the ram prows is kind of up like this a bit, so it's warped. Like the ship's main frame is kind of warped a little bit as it's floating there in space.
Did he break the ship?
What doesn't he break?
I mean, we just got this.
This is why we can't have nice things.
The Warforges right now have started.
fault.
They've gone into the Warforges have gone into more of a military position. They've locked off both sets of prisoners into separate parts of the ship. They've got the hobgoblins in one area, and they've got some of the surviving dark elves are in another area for questioning. Also, there is a void elf that came across. He was the one leading these people, and he was looking clearly for the cloak.
What would Wind do? Should we question him?
Wind is out cold.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. What would Wind do?
I'm not taking Wind anywhere near him.
Oh,
So we can go question him, but Wind is not going anywhere near him.
we should send Wind back through the portal. Does the portal work? Are we
You don't
stuck out here?
By the way,
portal
there's no
does
sun.
go far.
There is no planet. There is no moon. Just stars in any direction.
Do we have access to anything that we can maybe look at a map? Not that it would help any of us.
At this point, some of the hobgoblins, even though they're prisoners, like the Warforges have got, like, is standing there. There's a few that the ones that are being talking about us. They know the ship. There's a navigation room. They've got all the stuff here. I like the stars. By the way,
What is this hobgoblin
I'm just going to show the cover. I don't know if you saw it, Sai, but this is our little intro screen for this chapter's now. That is what we've got. As we finally made it into space. It's only been a book and a half, really, if you think about it. The first book is all on the ground. It's a normal D&D game, and we've just now gotten to the point where we're actually in space. But yeah. And that background's slowly been changing from nice and clean to getting dirty and cracked. And the last one's now it's just blown through into space. So the one of the hobgoblins can tell you that they've got navigational charts on board. Though with the Khanate dictate of the Khanate, that shouldn't be said together in a sentence. They were on a need-to-know basis, meaning in case their ship was captured, they have very limited maps on board. They have maps to the destination where they wanted to go, but they don't have maps to other spots because if they got captured, it saves it falling into enemy hands.
Should we?
So you're saying they don't know where the fuck we are?
Most likely.
I mean, the last time I talked to Wind, he was talking about sending it into the sun.
Well,
We
we're
said
clearly
there's no-
not in the
Yes.
sun. At that point, you even see one of the
Yeah.
Warforges turn around and look at the hobgoblin that made that comment. We're going to make him a captain. Captain Obvious.
Mhm.
At this
So-
point, the Warforges are turning to Alphonse and War.
I have a question.
Hey, she's your overseer. I just pointed.
This is my army.
No, at that point,
I don't
okay.
think Alphonse should be in charge of it. No offense,
Meanwhile,
Alphonse.
there's a quiet little, Lily.
Yes, sir.
It's the skull. It's the skull.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
I don't fucking know. You tell me.
We've lost you. You don't even show up on my, like, there's a range for this teleportation thing. You're gone. The only reason I can communicate to you is my mental link is as long as you're on the same plane of existence. So, good news.
We're on the same plane of existence.
Yep.
Okay, check. Not exited the plane of existence. What the fuck does that even mean?
It means we're in this reality rather than like a shadow reality or abyssal reality.
Oh, what, huh?
Good to know. I have a
Oh,
question.
by the way, Psychonom, Siren has this love for taking any NPC creature I throw at her and wanting to keep it as a pet. So her entourage...
And I have succeeded.
And there's a kobold that only, literally, the kobold had, 10 hit points? And this was a group of 6th level people. And I was rolling dice for him, and he survived. So because he survived, I've given him a boost to be a couple of levels lower than the adventuring party. But literally, he was a die 10 hit point little kobold sling thrower. But he survived. So because of that, he got to stay as part of a group member now. Watch this.
Yeah, and
No
I got a
matter how
Warforged army, and I got Alphonse, and I had more things, but they're gone now.
And Siren's having a
You attempted to
off-camera.
take-
And it's only Leech and an orb.
You attempted to take my character when I got summoned.
Yep, she did.
Yeah, he wasn't having it.
And we
Gotta
have...
let me dress him up.
and by the way, King of Bacon, I like that better. We do have all the previous episodes on my YouTube channel, so if you want to catch up at another time, it's quite entertaining. Especially the Butts episode, if you find that one, that's one. It's first season. The Butts episode is one of my favorite. It's
Butts
book
episode
1,
is best.
episode 7, I do believe. The Butts episode. It's really good.
I have a question.
Yep.
My character would be concerned if Wind needs healing.
Wind actually has not taken damage.
So,
Oh, sorry,
like,
hold on. Wind. I think you said
Can
pie.
I-
I was looking at pie. Wind has
Yeah.
taken damage.
like, should I?
Oh, no.
Like, I don't know. He's not.
Wind
he's
was
not-
out in the hallway while we were doing the
Yeah.
big fight.
I would say he's not conscious. So I feel as though I would be concerned.
As far as you can know, like, you have the ability to heal, and you can do a first aid check. Disadvantage right now, or not first aid. It's what's it called on the character sheet? Is it for? Hold on, it's,
Medicine.
Medicine.
medicine. Do a medicine check.
Where'd my thing go? Hello. Medicine check. Medicine.
What's the green
at
button?
disadvantage?
I'm sorry. It's like,
It's either a frog or a Grinch.
oh no, it's a cactus, but it's a sexy cactus butt.
It's a cactus. Wait, what?
A cactor. It looks like a cactor. If
It
you
is a cactor butt. That would be a sexy cactor. No, because it doesn't have spiny things on it. A cactor butt would
it
have.
shaves. It shaved its
Shaved
legs.
its ass. The cactor shaved its ass. Oh,
Wind's
God.
dead, guys. He's dead. He's
You
dead.
rolled a 1.
I mean, even if she had an advantage on that, she dropped a 3.
He's dead. He's gone forever. We're all alone in space.
She's having a moment, guys. Does anyone else want to do a medicine roll to double check?
I just want to check
I
for
mean,
the pulse.
I could do some healing. What do I don't have a healing
Why not?
spell, but I could give him a potion. Can I shove a potion down his throat?
I prefer you if you not pour liquid down somebody's throat that's unconscious.
I'll massage his throat.
Give Sheila a tinfoil hat.
I mean,
Oh god, he's
Dear
dead!
He's gone forever.
of all the ways he's almost gone, this is what killed him. Wind was a good were-tiger.
Vampire weird tiger. Remember, he got vampire status.
You got
Vampire weird
Last
tiger.
name. All right, so, Lily, do you want to confirm this? Do you want to confirm? You want to confirm? By the way, VitRabbit, if you are watching, or if you watch this later, this will explain why you might suddenly have to dig yourself out of a grave later on. All right, here we go.
How are we supposed to bury him when there's nothing around us?
Burial at space.
Just shoot his body out.
Did he really?
There's no coming back from
So, Lily, did you want to do a medicine roll? Disadvantage?
Do I have a medicine roll?
Yep, everyone does.
Everyone does.
Oh,
You just have to do it at
okay.
disadvantage.
Where do I use to do
It's
that?
in skills.
Yeah.
I would just like to say that I'm on the ground.
Does
I
she
don't
have
have
dis-
any stars in the area, but I couldn't do worse than Sheila. Now I have disadvantage.
You have disadvantage.
Okay, let me click disadvantage. See if I don't.
What, and then we'd both just be sobbing uncontrollably.
Ready?
No, he's out cold. He's out cold. He's got a faint pulse, and
What?
you put the mirror in front of his muzzle,
Uh-huh.
and it steamed up a bit.
Okay, he's breathing, I think.
Does he show up in the mirror?
Yes, he does. Good question.
He's a were-tiger, not Dracula.
Yeah, but he was sucking the life force out of things.
Cricket
It
bacon up
doesn't
fix
make
everything
him a
and everyone.
vampire.
I don't know that.
He wasn't drinking blood. He was sucking life force. That makes him like some type of ghoul thing. He's a witch!
So ban him. Alrighty.
So not dead.
Now, at this point,
I really want some bacon now.
you
honey.
notice that they're war
Okay.
forges. What was it? Does he have a straw? War forges are now looking to you, Lily, as they've been instructed that basically they've got the prisoners. They are not too familiar. They were all land-based forges for combat. None of them know how to run the ship, yet the hobgoblins that we've captured are the original crew. Most of the soldiers and warriors left with the Khan, and morale is pretty low for these people. Our stats do tell us that these people are usually good with their word compared to orcs. So if they give us their word, or we keep an eye on them, we could kind of use them as a crew, as they know the ship. As for the Dark Elves and the other individual, the Dark Elves are we believe they could be at the end of berserking. They're foaming, they're crazy. We've hit them on the heads several times. But
Exactly how many times is several? 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15,
a
50
few
to
times.
100.
But the one individual that seems to be leading them is a Void Elf. And he and that ship that attacked us was part of their fleet. And he is requesting a parley as well.
So we need some people to guard the wind, because this guy can't go near the wind. We need some people to look over the goblins as they help us figure out what we are and what we're doing.
Hobgoblins.
And then
there are some goblins here too.
Need an entourage to help me question this White Elf guy.
I would suggest taking somebody to, restrain and or kill the Void Elf if he becomes
We're
a
gonna
problem.
question him, and we're going with an
I said
entourage.
if he becomes a problem.
Well, you can come with if you'd like. Are you good at questioning?
I mean, I'm pretty good with.
At this point, you see a Warforge pushing through. You notice he's got wood and brass and all that stuff, but you notice on his one shoulder, there's like whitewash. He's got whitewash on his one shoulder that makes it white, and he's also got a red cross emblem kind of on there as he's pushing his way through. His name is Sawbones. And
What is it? Sawbones?
His name is Sawbones.
Sawbones?
He is familiar with fleshy fixings.
Can I call him Bones?
You can call me Bones if you want.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor. Oh.
You also notice the Warforged, you know how their faces are made up of wood and pieces of metal? He's got the jawbone and all that, and even though it's like a darker metal and the wood's almost the same color, that metal creates more of a half skull, like the metal part comes down on the upper lip and has a little bit of the teeth and the bone structure on the side, and he's a little bit on the top. So he's almost got like a little skull thing. If you were to paint that white as well, you'd have like a white skull over top of his face. But
he's adorable.
But he's basically come in. He's also got one of the eyes that's got
medic.
couple of little lenses on. But most of his gear and equipment is for fixing warforges in the field. He is familiar with fixing fleshy people, just like if you guys had a veterinarian looking after a human, I would guess.
He's the medic.
Well, he's better than nothing. Cool. Is anybody hurt?
He wants to
your
check
hand if
the
you need
person,
medical.
your dead companion here. He wants to,
not dead.
Not dead.
He's not dead.
I'm
Oh,
thinking
that's
Right.
good.
that whatever is wrong with our companion is a little more mystical and a lot less.
Or he just passed out from exhaustion.
Maybe he just really needed a nap.
You all look a bit fatigued.
Look here. Can you make coffee? Do you got some adrenaline?
I can make boiler shine.
A what?
Boiler shine. It's used for cleaning parts, and apparently you guys get shit drunk off of it.
Oh well, we'll have a. We will use
It's
that skill
cleaning
later.
alcohol.
For now, we need to. We need to question this void elf to figure out where the fuck we are and get a game plan.
All right,
We
you
need
just
to
see the
sleep
guy
for
go over to
16 hours.
Wind on the ground. He crouches down to one knee. He kind of gingerly puts his finger and thumb on his ear, and then he puts a finger to his ear. I don't get a pulse.
You're doing
But
it
he's
wrong.
breathing. So if he's breathing and his
I
heart's
don't think we need this medic anymore.
what?
He's good at fixing obvious wounds, like when you have that piece of bone sticking through your skin. You just mallet it back in and then wrap it around, and you're all fixed.
You stick to the Warforge repair, sir.
Sawbones, that's my name.
Yeah, it is Bones.
And the easiest thing, you guys complain a lot, but if you've got a really broken thing, you can get bone fever. Easiest thing is just chop the leg right off and get a new one.
That works for us. I don't think that works for them.
Oh, it does. Our legs can be with a bit of a cup
Nope.
fit on them.
Nope.
I don't think they would approve currently.
Look here. I'm all cyborg or not cyborg at all. I don't do halfsies.
At this point, he goes to check some
I'm
of the
pretty
Warforges
sure
now.
your Demi-Lich could arrange that.
He's not allowed out of his orb yet.
All right, the hobgoblins are coming back. You see one of them's got a little spyglass, like this nice little spyglass as he's checking. But another guy has a sextant. If anyone's got sailing or any type of thing, it's basically a sextant, but it has an extra plane to be measuring on stuff, and it's got magical glyphs on it, and he's checking the stars and the skies. And he's got a concerned look as he's looking in one direction, nothing. He's looking in another direction.
I don't think he knows where we are, guys.
I don't think he's very good with astronomy.
I mean, I'm not really good with astronomy, so I don't blame him.
I don't think any of us are.
He tells
But
you that he
couldn't you
can't
be
see any
sleeping?
way lines.
Any what?
Way lines.
Some of us don't space for a living.
They're the things that let us teleport, like on Earth, where you teleport from gate to gate. They're
Ah.
connected via wayline.
Have we checked our
That's as far as I know.
War. That was
I
a
know
recessive memory. No, that was like a recessive memory. That's how you guys teleported amongst the stuff.
Yeah, we teleport via wayline to between gates.
But
How it affects up
I
here?
just know we walk through shiny gate, come out other
I
side.
know, but you have to realize I've been asleep for apparently like 300 years.
Well, how much?
This is how we did things before. We followed the waylines to go from gate to gate. How waylines affect up here? I have no fucking idea.
the guy basically tells you that's how we magically travel. The ships to get us here all have different types of engines, harnessed in different ways. This is an artifact engine, yet was taken over by an artifact. The irony there is sweet. But there are other
An
types
artifact running off of
the,
life energy.
there are types that run off life energy. The gnomes and humans basically have engines that are combustible based on entrapping elemental spirits of fire and energy. You guys, and there are other types to do, but there's magics to create the air bubble around us as we fly, propel ourselves forward. But if we were to go at regular speeds, we'd be doing no better than so many knots or so out here, and it would take us generations to get from one spot to the other. Each life force, every planet has little ley lines that the wizards use, and they're all over the planet, but they also leave the planet to connect to other planets that have life force on it or had life force. So effectively there's these invisible way lines that not only crisscross the planet, but they travel to other planets. And what we do is we guide the ship onto one of these way lines, and then we ride the current of magic to the next planet.
So the little lines that connect the gates on Earth basically connect planets, and then we get a ship on there and we go poof.
And
he
we
doesn't
travel
see
at speeds.
How did we get off of the line?
We jumped. And that's impossible.
Or so you say. Apparently
it has been seen.
We just did it.
Anyone that has that ability, but usually the ability to teleport, has a certain bubble or range that one can do, which is not a large enough range to go between worlds.
I blame the cloak.
It is a very nice cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be. If we give it to that void elf, it'll be a very bad cloak. All depends on who's using it. It just so happens that he didn't know how to. He didn't know what he was
The only
doing.
real problem we have is we did have 2 navigators that both could help us right now. Both were rendered unconscious, one with blood coming from his ears, as they were trying to take control of the ship as your friend was wresting control away from them.
Huh.
So when they
Well,
come
they shouldn't
to,
try.
or
They
he
should-
comes to, we'll have a better idea of what's going on.
Well, he might
Do
be
they
out
need
for.
a heal? Because I could do that.
He might be out for like 16
The one with
hours.
the if you have healing, yes, by all means go. If you could try putting your hand, like healing hands on Wind, but it could he could just be out comatose for a while.
I was meaning the other guy.
Yeah, same thing with them. They could be out for comatose for a while, but if one guy's got internal bleeding and is slowly bleeding to death and no one's the wiser, then you would actually save that person's life.
Are we stable? Like,
We're
shit,
yeah,
guys?
we're stable as stable can be. We're not moving.
Maybe we should take a nap.
You have plenty of people to take a nap and have your characters rest. And of course, you realize the last 3 episodes, you've had that level up icon above your heads. And of course, before stream, you all leveled up now. But it's like, it's the equivalent of, all right, let's go to sleep. You click on the bed, you're choosing your skills. Oh, it's morning. So if you want, you can all take a rest now. But because of the potions you took, elves, your 4 hours has become 8 hours. Lugnut,
My 4 hours of shutdown.
down. You shut down a little long. Basically, it's doubled right now, but
8 hours of shutdown. I still know what the hell is going on around me, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
shut down.
so
Kavina, you
effectively,
can go to sleep for 16 hours.
you guys all get rest. You guys are put up
Wait
in
a
the nicer
second.
quarters. What?
Wait a second. How are we supposed to know how long 16 hours is if there's no sun?
We have clocks. At this point, clocks. We have water clocks, sand clocks, and steam clocks, as well as perpetual motion clocks.
Oh, okay.
But on this boat,
I just go off of the sun, so.
on this boat, it's a gear-based little clock thingy.
Okay.
You wind it.
As long as we know how long people are out for.
Yeah. But yeah, you get used to it.
I was joking, but.
The hobgoblins just pause, look at each other.
I'm gonna put my Vorpal sword away because I've been standing here holding it.
Yep. Did you get the specs for that last game? I think
Yeah.
I dropped it, yeah.
Oh,
So effectively, you guys do rest. You're taken to like captain's quarters. They're still kind of small, but they're actually nice rope beds with a bit of mattressing on them and all that. They're not like hammocks, though. You do see a lot of hammocks as well, which might be actually not that. I don't for up in the woods throwing a hammock between trees. Yep. So, but you guys are able to rest. The war forges take shifts, easy shifts, and all that. They stow most of the prisoners, some of the goblins and all that. Hobgoblins and goblins, effectively, since they got nowhere to run to, they're kind of easy with. We'll help look after the ship because what else are we going to do, right? By the time you guys wake up, it's still the same, but the shift of the purples and the little depth of the nebula that you kind of see around you is off. And you also notice there's nice little kind of little star specks of little light that kind of just little light motes that kind of float around the ship. And Kavina, you can do a survival check.
Okay. Also, does that mean we did a full rest?
Full rest.
I forget. Do we fully heal or?
Yes, in this game. The full rest. Actually, hold on a second, guys. Before I do anything,
you have a button?
let me just see if I have a button.
Have a button for that?
Let me see.
Because that's the only way we get our hit dice back too.
Fatigue!
Oh, my wounded didn't go away. Damn it.
Why didn't your wounds go away?
I don't know. My hit dice came back.
I'll just fix that. There we go. Because everyone else has disappeared.
I don't know. Did anyone have wounded other than me?
I didn't have wounded.
So effectively, yeah.
I don't think Lily had wounded. I know
No.
Wynn didn't have wounded.
NPCs did.
Oh.
You know, dog somehow fully healed.
So survival, is that what I'm checking?
Yep.
Yeah.
And no penalty this time.
You're not fatigued anymore. Or exhausted.
No, air smells good. Look.
I got bad rolls, guys. I'm sorry.
Question. Would I be able to check, seeing as I'm a recon, so I would be running around checking things?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I don't need to breathe. Never mind.
Yeah, you don't need to breathe, and you were planet-based. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean,
all these
not
guys.
needing to breathe kind of makes it so it's unnecessary because I don't need to intake any air. So.
Yeah, and it would be very hard to check the quality of air that you're. What?
Not breathing.
Correct.
I forgot about that for a second.
So updates, absolutely none. Some of the hobgoblins.
Is Wind still asleep?
Wind is still out cold. One of the navigators seems to be okay. The other navigator does not look too well. He's starting to get purpling of the skin, like
Probably should
bruising.
have healed before we went to sleep.
Oh, you actually, yeah, Kavina, would you have checked on him then?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was dying. He was in the negatives,
Oh.
so you were able to stabilize him with your last bit of heal. So yeah, both navigators. One navigator is up. The other one that was healed, he's still resting his wounds. But you do have a navigator up. He has looked at the charts. He spent most of the day figuring out. He is not aware of where our location is, and he explains to you that he doesn't have a great list of maps to go check from, but he does suggest we could push the ship in the direction of the closest star.
How are we supposed to push the ship
Well,
when we're on the ship?
our drive seems to have shut down.
I know, he's unconscious.
Looks down to the cloaked guy.
I don't know. He just takes care of the ship things,
Because
okay?
at this point he pulls out an iron kind of tiara. It's a very thin crown. It's not like a big masculine manly one. So when you see this hobgoblin put this little thin little tiara type thing on, this is like the little helm that he has. It does have some little jagged pieces of iron that do stick up, but it's very thin, as that's the navigational piece. He can help guide and steer the engine, but the engine's broken. This was the main command officer's ship, and it actually had an artifact helm. It does have a kinetic-based drive system that can be activated. That involves usually our slave galleys, but we don't really have any real slaves on board.
I mean, we have a shit ton of warforges.
And that we could
I'm
set
just
up.
gonna look at Lily. You have your army.
I know, I'm so happy. You don't even
Is
know.
your army the same thing as a bunch of slaves?
No, they're my friends and I love them.
Will they work for you?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Are
That's
you the
what friends do.
overseer?
I am overseer.
They let
Okay.
you know that there are 6 squads that are fully accounted for and 4 reserve. Effectively, there are 6 groups of 10 warforges that are surviving through, and there are 4 leftovers that were part of a couple of squads that were just decimated. And that's so you got 64 warforges on board this ship, none of them taking up air. You have got 30 hobgoblins, give or take, with about 5 or 6 goblins that have also on board. You've got 8 dark elves that have survived the night, and the 1 void elf. That is the total care. Air breathing wise, you've got 25 people breathing. The size of this ship is good for 120 people. So the quartermaster would tell you that effectively this ship can hold basically can hold enough air for a month. 3 months for a crew of 120. So we are under that number.
You said we had 25?
Yeah, we have 25.
So we can go over a year.
But there's been air damage done.
Oh, yeah. That.
And that we haven't got the proper way of gauging it. In his opinion, we probably have half that amount, but that's still plenty of air. We'll probably starve to death or run out of liquid first.
I got cookies.
I don't believe cookies are a liquid.
I haven't tried that yet. Liquid cookie.
All I
I'm
can think of is
sure
a chocolate
pie-
chip milkshake.
I'm sure Pi would enjoy it.
Cookies?
A cookie shake to go with his cookie.
So all he can hope is, from what he can see through the sextant, is there are some shadows by that little sphere of light, so they could be other planets. That's all we could hope for. The propulsion, we can keep pushing and hope we come up with a glimpse of a ley line. If we see a ley line, then it's all good. We just need to push towards that, and then we will get into the slipstream of the ley line, and weeks and months could turn to hours and days. But if we don't find one, it could be 6 months to get to that light. We've got food for about a month. And that's with...
This
All
shit.
the goblins
What's
taste
the food?
friend.
Pardon? Most of the food was eaten up getting to your world. When we invaded it, there was going to be plenty of time to restock on fish, food, and all that we needed for the rest of the army. We didn't land on your planet once, so we didn't restock. By the way, the skull can still give you a connection back home if you want to see how home's doing right now.
I mean, we didn't drop this
Nope.
egg thing on it, so it's fine.
Effectively, after the attack and all that, and the fact that the hobgoblin took over, she's taken the existing troops and fallen back to rebuild her power, but without the key to the Casket of Souls, which Siren has with her, they can't get the Warforged. They can't make an army like they wanted to, so there's no tactical value to the planet, hence why they were going to destroy it with such a device. But you stopped that from happening, so the battle is stopped. But,
And now it's just stuck here on our ship.
well, technically, the person that controls it is and has the power, the actual orb and all that still back home. But as long as she's got
No,
that little key with
The
her,
egg thing
yeah. Oh, the
is
egg?
stuck on our
Yep.
ship.
It's on your ship.
Maybe we should just drop this egg thing off while we're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I mean, we could.
You
It's
could.
not gonna hit anything or break anything, and if it does, there's nothing out here to eat.
We should do that before we leave, though. In case
Now,
it
once
hits.
we realize where we're going,
That away.
I don't know. This is normally a win decision.
At that point, I know exactly. This is perfect. This is just perfect too. There's normally a win-win, but he's still out cold. You've been secured. That yes, he seems to be breathing. He has no signs of internal injuries, but he's just out. The cloak seems to be dormant as well. It's gone back to that little necklace. It's no longer. It's turned into the little Celtic-style torque around his neck. No cloak extended out of it or anything like that. It's just retracted back in. And he's being looked after. He's got a guard around him. I'm guessing that Lily, you probably would have set up a nice guard around him. There is still the question of the Void Elf. And the Navigator... There's a Void Elf on board?
Apparently.
They can see in the ultraviolet. They can
So what
see...
you're saying is we need to threaten his life so that he can tell us where we're supposed to be going.
He can find...
Well, I mean, his life
wakes.
is dependent upon it. He's stuck out here with us.
I mean, you're not wrong. He really wants that cloak though, and I'm not letting him have that. It's bad enough that the cat has it. Apparently, he's sucking life force out of things. That's never a good thing.
But that was new. You have to admit that was new, everybody.
I know it's new, but it's never a good thing. I'm not supposed to let the cloak go bad. It's not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to happen.
Maybe we should go talk to the Void Elf.
I agree. We need to question that bitch immediately.
Yeah, and just have somebody look over wind other than Bones. Bones can no.
At this point, you just see Bones is walking by with what looks like motor oil splattered all over his body, as if something was spurting oil all over him, and he's just kind of got a cloth wiping himself
Are we
up.
sure he can even fix warforges?
I don't know. He's a medic.
Doesn't mean he's a good one.
There's no way of me to know that. He just has the medic sign to him.
Yep. Damn it, Jim.
I'm all for questioning the Void Elf and figuring out where the fuck we're going.
Yes. Let's go to the Void Elf.
Alrighty. There we go. I had to find his name. There he is.
Oh, he's got a name. How cute.
You don't get to keep this one.
I don't know. Show me his picture.
Alright. I already showed you the picture. Basically, it's like Sethra. Remember?
Oh God, yes. This is the
don't get
husbando, Morgan. Morgan, step aside, bitch. I've moved on.
Don't get to keep this
With
one.
the
I've had
quote
evil-
anime mullet, what we call the anime mullet, because you realize if a real person wore it, but in anime apparently it's cool to have the short spiky hair and then long hair, white hair at the back. You know, the white. You know, he's got that. He's got the anime.
Some
mullet.
haircuts only work on cartoons.
Exactly.
May I have another picture of him for, asking for a friend?
Ask for a friend. I think. Give me 1 second. If I take a look at my Discord, and where is it? It's under my Discord in Starships and Sorcery. If we scroll upwards, there we go. It's not too far up from the bottom of it. If you scroll up, just by the thing, there's the one image of him, which is basically a Seth Ross image that I kind of just,
I'll get Chad a copy. So
Oh,
they
you
can see
you found it already? I'm just going to
There
drag
we go.
there we go. Because I can also just do this drag with, again, guys. Let's just show you guys. I can go and drag and drop this right into the folder, doop, and then it should just be under new. There we go. Just brought right in for you guys. There you go. Alright, I gotta navigate. But I did get that mother of pearl sheen kind of on the skin there, but that's kind of what we got going. And I can, oh, that's of course in chat if I share that. But that's basically, and I think that's the artist's name that actually did that illustration. That's why I kept it. So that's the artist credit there. Alrighty. So, that being said, he is in a room. The Dark Elves are kept separate because they're very savage. They seem to almost worship this guy fanatically for some reason.
Bitch, I'd worship this guy fanatically.
So, he is, and again, his uniform is his uniform is black with silver piping. And he does have kind of the long, kind of collared, black, long, kind of military-esque type of looking shirt, vest type of thing. His weapon has been confiscated. It is magical.
I would sure hope so.
It's magical in nature, and it seems to have the same mother of pearl sheen as he has. And its blade does not seem to reflect light too well either.
I want it.
But the reason the Navigator wants to tell you this is they can see paths in the ultraviolet, like in the spectrum of the light that we can't see, and in space they can actually see the nuances that could hint to a disturbance. Where basically, like a fisherman that knows the good little symbols, the little fish mark, like how a fisherman can look out on the water and kind of guess where fish might be. That's the best metaphor I got for you. He can see fish in space. No, it's just.
He's a space fisherman.
Yeah. So, you guys he's in a little brig. The room, it's like 5 feet wide, 10 feet deep. So basically it's a small little rectangular spot. It's got 2 beds on the side it could have. But one bed's up, being dropped down. And there's a little stool and a little pot. And you never stick your hand in that pot because it's got a small little disintegration thing in there to help get rid of any shit and poop. Don't stick your hand down there. If you drop something in there, it's lost. Just forget about it. It's gone. Now, range is a tracking ability in space.
His weapon.
At this point, the one Warforged will show you the weapon.
I want it.
He tells you, though, he's not too sure if you'll be able to remove it from its scabbard. I have not been able to.
It doesn't mean I don't want it.
He has seen the weapon brandished by the individual, yet once he found it in the scabbard, he's been unable to pull it out of its scabbard. There might be a magical phrase or something.
Still want it.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out. It's yours. You can have it. I'm giving you permission.
Collect people, I collect weapons, okay?
That's why I understand your need, and I'm backing you 110%. It will be yours.
Coming through. You hear a little gruff little voice. Coming through. Business for the lady. Business for the lady. You see Igor pushing his way through, the little cobalt. Yeah, lady, I would like to report to you that the goblins have been sussed up, and I have them under my thumb for you.
Well, good job, Igor. I'm gonna pat him on the head and say, good boy.
And my trap-making skills, I've perfected myself a little bit of a choker collar.
Oh,
It took a couple of goblins, but it works now.
It's beautiful. I love
I
it.
love the fact that it took a couple of goblins.
Effectively, the way it works is if they get too far away, I pull the choke chain, and little spikes kind of go into the throat area.
Oh! So it's not a choke collar, it's...
An impalement collar.
That's my little Igor. Ain't he cute, guys? Ain't he cute?
He smiles. Little cobalt. He's got the red. He's a red scaled cobalt, by the way, as well.
You can't tell
Shank
that
collar.
he's blushing right now, but he is.
Yeah. And he's now standing around her as if he's her right-hand man. You know, like, yep, he's keeping an eye on things. He's like, you know, yeah. Pie's been out of your bag a little bit now, because, you know, he's liked riding in your bag. But Pie also kind of feels a little more sure of himself, because last game he actually fought a little bit, even though he missed. We know the potential of how Pie is, but he kind of feels more, you know, he's kind of exploring and curious, and he's found stuff to munch on board the ship. You don't know what it is, but he found something to munch on. Kind of smells a little bit like rotten trash, but he found something good.
Hey.
There's no cookies, though. Pie was unable to find any. He brought no cookies back for you. He brought like some sort of a meat pie that he kind of sniffed at and kind of held you up, and he's not too sure what the meat is in there that the hobgoblins may have been eating. They won't tell him.
No, thank you. So, excuse me, what are we gonna ask the Void Elf?
That's a good idea. You're gonna.
I'm at the point where I'm not so much asking. I'm gonna tell him that he's gonna be standing up there looking for however the fuck we're supposed to get at this. Like, there's no option for him anymore.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. He had a Gek advisor who's also in another room. He believes that was most of his real crew. The elf savages that came across seem to be some sort of a boarding party. But we also have a Gek
What's a
locked out.
Gek?
The Gek. About 7 feet tall, very fat and stout looking.
Okay.
Their throat and mouth are probably the same width because they're known to literally eat small people, creatures, kids.
And you guys somehow got him? Okay.
But they're kind of a troll nature thing, but they are the type of trolls that would love to eat kids and small people and halflings.
Are they cute? Oh, they don't eat. They have
no, like, basically they're all neck. Their neck. They're like their heads almost like a big. Oh, what's that one Doctor Who's assistant? The warrior race or whatever. They kind of have the funny little heads.
The potato dude.
The potato dude. You know how he's got no neck? He's like they're like that, but it's based on a Scandinavian style troll, but it's very large. It's green with pussy warts and hairs all over itself. It's got a huge maw of like shark teeth. And the poor thing's been put into a uniform, so it kind of looks out of place. Like the fat's coming up from the collar, and his belly kind of extends a little bit out of the belt buckle area. But it looks like somebody tried to put it into a uniform. But it is close to 7 feet tall and almost 7 feet wide.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. Sheila Bobby is probably, her shoulders are probably the width of his thigh.
So you're saying he's thick?
Yeah. But literally, he has a swallow attack for anything that's considered small. Alright, could just picture a bunch of halflings fighting. Ah! Oh, he just ate Bob!
Poor Bob.
They do regenerate like a troll as well, though. But that seemed to be his officer. He doesn't know anymore. They've been fighting smaller sides. They have not done anything with the council or allies of the councils. So, you're at the door now. You've been standing there for a bit. There's one more forge that's got his weapon. Just kind of holding it there if you wanted to see it.
There's only one war forge?
No, there's one more forge with the weapon. There's the war forge that brought you here. There's the two guards that are standing outside the door. You guys are just kind of standing here at the door now.
I'm going to take his weapon.
Alright, you take the weapon. It's cold. It feels really cold.
Okay.
You try to take it out of the scabbard?
No.
Okay.
He said he couldn't get it out, so...
Well, maybe you can.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
We need to talk to the Void Elf first.
Yep. The one Warforged asks for the weapon back, It would probably be advisable for you not to walk in with his weapon.
No, I'm gonna walk in there with my Vorpal sword drawn though.
Okay, but you're gonna give him the weapon.
No.
Give that Warforged the weapon back. No, you're gonna go in with the weapon.
No, I'm keeping the weapon.
Okay.
I'm holding on to it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the Vorpal sword in my other hand.
Yep. And so you're gonna go
I
in
don't
first.
plan on getting too close to him.
Okay. So you basically, as you get to the door, it is a wooden door that's got the little slot thing on it, and it's got a tray spot on the bottom. There's like 6 of these doors. It's the brig part of the ship. It's in one of the side boat parts of the trimaran. Hobgoblin slaves to bake cookies for pie. I don't know if you would want hobgoblin cookies. They'd be hobgoblin cookies
They
are a
probably
little bit
would
like
still
Scottish
have whatever meat he's
hobgoblin.
eating.
I think hobgoblin cookies would be a little bit like Scottish black pudding. Google it. If you
No,
want
I'm
to
good.
know.
Just off of that name.
Black pudding? Good
You
Scottish.
You don't want to know. Don't
It tastes
actually
good.
Google it.
It tastes good, actually. You can't get it in Canada because apparently some of the ingredients are health rules and stuff, apparently.
Yeah.
And that says a lot, too. All right, so you go in. He's in that room. He's casually just sitting on the bed. He's got his uniform, and he's kind of got that Cumberbatch. What's his name? That cold, calculating guy that played Sherlock. He played Cumberbatch. I always call him Cumberbun. He plays Doc Strange. Cumberbatch.
Yeah, what is
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict? Yes.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, he's got that kind of reserved, in control, just sitting there. His uniform looks as if it's ready to be, like, he's cleaned his uniform, he's straightened it up, and he's just sitting there casually, hands folded in his lap, and you just see him kind of look at you, War, as you enter. His eyes are solid. They're just like a solid violet, and they just glow a little brighter when you walk into the room.
You're gonna be looking for a way for us to go.
Hello.
No, I don't care what you say. You're looking for a way to take us back to where we were going.
The cloak jumped us, did it? He kind of gets himself up, just stands up. He stands about 6'2".
It might have. All I know is we apparently there was a ring. It went around the ship. Now nobody knows where we are.
You shattered my craft. It was quite impressive. At this point, he's now heading towards the door as if he's about to walk out the door.
No. No.
Pointing my Vorpal sword at him. I didn't say you get a move yet.
Well, I will stress, for me to see a path.
I understand that.
Being
I
outside.
didn't say yet. I didn't say you get a move yet. You will look outside when we take you there.
You do not wish to upset the council, though. I will let you know.
I don't know
have
who the council is.
Who is this council? I care not.
The Council of Worm. The dragons that rule over the sectors of space.
I love dragons.
I
Are
live
you
in
sa-
the land of the forest.
I don't-
and
I
I
don't
rule
see
over the
how
pine
they're
cones.
scarier than the
Okay.
ones that made-
Sorry, you're losing it. Kamina is just losing it.
I
know-
rule over the land of the pine cones. I care not about
We're
you.
under the jurisdiction of the council right now. We are in BFE.
We won't be if we go back to our planet. If we go back to our planet, they'll leave us alone.
Technically, they will, because your planet was kind of a reserve, no-touch, no-fly zone, for some reason.
Because
and maybe
I
we know
went
now
flying.
why.
I don't know. There was just a gold dragonborn, or there was a gold dragon that was making a bunch of us at one point, and the council's not supposed to go to our planet. That's why I want to go back to our planet. That and there's
So
this.
where's the cloak?
That's none of your concern.
I might have the magical ability to
I
scry.
don't care.
To what? Who?
If I place my hand on the cloak, I can
No.
You're not
identify.
touching that cloak,
You're
sir.
not touching the cloak.
It is a common spell. Anyone with arcane can qualify this. as I can get information from the item by touching it. Looks around for any of you guys that look like a spellcaster. Even though Lily is Mrs. Arcane, she doesn't look it. You know what I mean? It's like he's looking around for the booky-looking kind of caster type.
Excuse me, sir. Don't let the boobs fool you, I smart ass. I'm just batshit.
But you can do.
I'm silly.
If you don't even have to make a roll for it, there are some kind of divination spells which can divine certain bits of information by touch. So you don't even have to roll that, Lily. You do know.
Oh, I thought it was my batting eyelashes that convinced him. Hey, girl, hey. I mean.
Hi, I'm over here.
My eyes are up here, ma'am.
He feels self-conscious and starts doing up a couple of the buttons on his V-neck. You know. Feels like just like a piece of meat. All right, so. Well, how do you want to handle this then? I have skills you need. You are very paranoid, with due course, I would say.
Yeah, hell yeah, you have skills I need.
God damn it.
I mean, yeah, we need some information.
God damn it, Lily.
Lily is kind of just in there now.
I want to look out to the Warforged that handed me his sword and ask if we have any way of chaining him and securing him so he can.
I have some handcuffs.
Of course you do.
She does.
I have 2 pairs. One of them is functional. One requires a safe word.
Which would you like? I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for.
You want the fuzzy ones or the non?
Yeah, they're both effective. One does have doe skin with rabbit fur on the inside.
I would be happy to submit them for the cause.
Okay, some people may
you can
wonder
be the one
if
to
she's
put him on
flirting.
him.
She is over the top.
Please.
All you get is like the little eyebrow. That's it. Just Whereas Morgan was the type of scoundrel that would take advantage of any of that. You just see him kind of just looking at Lily like,
I will break you yet, sir.
I'm sorry. Again, that whole sir, we were talking about this in Charlie Brown. Who was the one that kept Marcy? No, who kept saying sir? Sir all the time? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Patty? Was it Patty? Yeah. I just keep having flashbacks to little Charlie Brown there. All right, but yes, sir. So yes, you have cuffs, effective and ineffective. So of course you probably use the effective real cuffs on him. There are also manticles that the Warforges are aware of on the ship because, well, these were hobgoblins, and the whole galley area is made for slaves to use oars. Now, there are no oars that actually stick out of the boat, but the process is used. If they are landed on a world that has water, they can actually row the boat with oars that come out, but otherwise, it's the mechanism that cranks and powers. It's what they call a kinetic drive. There's different types of it. But there are several different types of drives that push the ships. Different races, different cultures came up with different types to propel themselves, to build up enough energy to send them. And the ley lines are the best way to go, but if need be, we can push ourselves at slower pace. I really have to hold back from saying impulse and warp. All right. So, that being said, the Warforges are down there. They're the best thing. They got the good strength to get that crank, and they,
They're ready to go.
But also putting the hobgoblins down there to work is good too, because they're prisoners. But the Warforges aren't really going to get too tired. They're pretty durable that way. So he's got cuffs on. You just see him kind of give a slight hint of a smile to you, Lily. When you finally put the cuffs on, that he's had that deadpan. He's had that deadpan. He doesn't really care. But when you're up close and you're putting the lock on and all that stuff, he's just got a slight grin on his face as he watches you finally lock him down.
Guys, he is gonna love those orcish submission poses. I know his type.
This is neither the time nor place.
So, how do you escort this guy? Which...
Vigorously.
I'm walking behind him with my Vorpal sword out to the back of his neck.
Yep. He does suggest that it would probably be not wise to use that style of weapon if you need it to be a slight deterrent, because there is a 5% chance that you accidentally lob my arm off if you slip.
Point well taken. I'm gonna put it away and then I'm gonna grab my Dachi claw.
Okay. A ranger's weapon.
It's unshinked.
Yep. Oh, a ranger's weapon.
Sure. I'm getting used to it.
Alright, so...
I'm gonna also turn around to the Warforged that handed me his weapon originally and hand it back to him because I no longer can use one hand.
What?
My Adachi claw is two-handed.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what? Vorpal sword, put it too close to his head.
It's almost like the sword's like, 1, 2, cut.
Hey, I don't have a cursed sword.
I know someone that does.
Yeah, I know.
So he steps out on the deck, and he kind of looks around, and he kind of has a nice kind of a smile, takes a sniff of the air, and then he kind of just looks towards that purpley kind of nebula, and he kind of whispers something, he kind of just mumbles something under his breath in Elven.
Oh, do I know what he says?
What the fuck he says.
I think everyone that's currently here except for Lugnut. Basically, he calls it the Maiden's Hood.
The what?
He named the nebula.
The Maiden's Hood.
He knows
Is this
where
a
we
sexual
are.
thing?
Do you say that?
No, but I'm giving him the look of the waha.
At this point, if you take a look at this purple smear, if you ever had a cloaked, hoodied type of individual, it kind of looks like it could be the profile of a hooded face, maybe. Maybe, or it also could just be a grape stain.
So,
Do you know what I mean? It could be romanticized as that, or it could be something else. But it's like, so that's what he just mentioned. Though it sounds very.
Know how to get us back to a way line.
That at this point, he's now got this kind of a real impressed look on his face. That's the Maiden's Hood. He now says out loud in common. You notice the navigator kind of. We're in the core. Just nods. It seems the cloak wanted to go back home.
Oh, well, that's nice of the cloak to go back home. Where the fuck are we?
I don't like the idea of the cloak going back home. I don't. I want to go back home. Am I strong enough to just go back home?
We haven't tested the portal yet.
He tells you if we take a couple of weeks, and then he kind of just pauses. He asks for the sextant. The Hobgoblin's like, I ain't going to give him the... Hobgoblin pauses, looks towards the Warforged. The Warforged pauses, looks towards the other Warforged. The other Forged pauses, looks to Lily.
I mean, it's a sextant.
What can he honestly do?
Do with it.
It's got a pointy part. You can impale our heads with it.
I have a sword.
Okay, I can tell you right now, he's a taker, not a giver.
He's a catcher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm just saying he's a submissive. If anyone's gonna do some stabbing here, I don't know. I mean, if we put him next to a Warforged, you can't stab a Warforged.
I mean, you can, but I mean, it's metal.
It's not gonna do much good.
It's metal and wood, so.
I mean, hand it over to a Warforged. Have a Warforged
nods, tells the other Warforged. The other Warforged nods, looks to the other Warforged. By the time the third Warforged looks to the Hobgoblin's already hanging it to him. Just like, I saw. Yeah. So the guy just pauses, and you just see him kind of whisper something under his breath, and the little glyphs kind of come to life, and you see little globes of light, little globes of light protrude out, and as he moves, they stay relative as he's moving within these little dots of light, as he's starting to navigate with it.
Well, that's not something that happened before.
And the other hobgoblin kind of rubs the back of his neck. And I suppose if
apparently he doesn't know how to do his job very well.
He doesn't have the magic to channel into it. He's just a navigator.
Then why are you...
It works. We get a map. We go on a direction. We're not an explorer type.
I suppose.
We just fight, go here, kill, take over.
Okay.
How'd that work for
Mr.
you?
Goblin, I believe.
At that point, you just literally see one of the Warforged go, ouch! Damn! How'd that work for you? He just pauses, and he does take the thing. He surjects down. If we had about 9 o'clock and about 10 degrees down for a few weeks, we might come across a ley line. There's enough disturbance there. Even though I recognize that thing, there are a billion vantage points we could be looking at it from, so I can't tell you where we are. I can tell that we are relatively months away from where we were. And that's by ley line.
So what you're saying is the people that need to eat are gonna...
Is there like some McDonald's in between here and there? Like a pit stop, truck stop.
If the ley line is a strong one, it leads somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is we're gonna have to
and
find food.
And hopefully ask for directions. Ooh, we see the hobgoblins pass. Ooh.
We buy an atlas.
No, the hobgoblins. Fuck, never stop and ask for directions. No, that's your manhood. You don't say that. They just drive as if you know where you're going. Yep. Don't ask for directions. Fuck. All right. So that's his
the
That's why we lost in the first place.
What?
Is the navigator the one saying this?
No, it's the elf. Oh,
No.
Sorry, the whole.
The one muttering under his breath.
Oh, no, that's just some hobgoblins. You know, they're just the joke. You know, the comic relief in the audience. There, but you know.
We should teach them the butt song.
The butt song. So, other than that, in 2 weeks, we might hit some sort of ley line.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but do you have any other suggestions other
Are
than letting
goblins
me touch
edible?
the cloak?
Where is your friend with a cloak?
I'm not telling you that.
Not your business.
He's.
Sir.
There's a specific reason why we're keeping you away from him.
Do you think it belongs to your friend? Look what it's
Does
done for
now.
you guys ever since he's had it.
I don't know. Did it belong to the dragon that had it?
What was your relation with the cloak then?
The dragon that was in charge of me had it. Like 300 years ago.
Gledenzar. That was the name of the dragon, Gledenzar.
Yeah.
That's a good dragon name.
Gledenzar.
I'm under the assumption
You see,
that
he's been
died.
questing for it for a long time, and the story of Gledenzar and the battle at Qatar was well known. Where he died, but he did not possess the cloak at the time of that battle, and I had been questing for it in between.
I mean, I want to turn to Kavina and Lily. Where did he get this cloak?
Oh, you see?
Yeah.
I came into existence while you guys were underground. He already had
have
it.
this conversation not in front of my new boy toy.
He's
we
escorted back
can
to his prison
play.
cell, I take it?
He's still handcuffed.
Yep.
We're leaving him handcuffed.
Oh, fuck, yes we are. I mean, yeah, he's safe.
We can step in the hallway and I'll explain.
How well are Void Elf ears?
They're good elven ears, but if he's literally a deck away, one story down, you guys go somewhere else. You know, yeah, there's plenty of distance you can flip between.
Story time.
I get skeptical of people because last time someone was distance away and unable to hear.
Well, that was a stone. Have you checked yourself to see if you got any of those stones on you right now?
I don't know. Did this one masturbate me in my sleep?
I don't know. You didn't sleep near him.
Yet.
Story time.
I did not have relations with that man.
Okay, story time.
Story time. We were on a mission to do things, and we went in this cave, and there was it a bear? I think it was a bear.
Yeah, it was a big
There
scary
was a big scary bear, and it growled at us.
spiders?
And then we were
Spiders?
we could probably sneak by it, but then
Big bada boom!
wind
Bad
was
move.
like, no,
I
not
like
gonna happen, and he attacked
What's
the bear.
this got to do with the cloak?
Just listen. And so
I'm listening.
so-
This is good.
then I'm pretty sure there was some like really big boom sounds, the boom sounds, and so we went outside, and then there was a ship of one of these things that had crashed, and we went inside, and
Oh, and there were fire things.
there was
Yeah.
some
Fire
there was fire.
things.
There was
Oh,
fire.
that's where we got Alphonse. Alphonse was on the ship.
Yes, Alphonse was on the ship, and then
Alphonse!
we got inside the ship, and
Does Alphonse know
there
anymore?
was it a void elf? Was it a void
No,
elf?
she was a
Yes,
high
she
elf.
was.
She was
She
a
was
void
void
elf.
elf.
She
Oh,
had the
yeah,
same-
'cause she
yeah.
was-
There was a void elf of a female
So
void elf,
Void Elf already had
and
this?
she was dying, and she said that,
She
"Are
said
you the
something about a
ranger?"
ranger.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Yeah, sure," and so they became ranger.
I'm under the impression he's not an actual ranger at this point.
No, but his dad was. Is.
No. His
What?
dad is
Can you inherit rangers from your family?
No.
also.
Well, his dad was a ranger, but now he's ranger too.
You can't say that he's not a ranger, because that would be like saying that Lily is not the overseer, because she is the overseer.
I am the overseer.
He's overseer now.
He's a ranger now.
He's a ranger now.
Did that make your character feel any better? Now you know the story.
No!
Though you remembered your master telling you that fate randomly picks who gets the cloak.
Fate picks who gets the cloak will come wake me up. That's as much as I got now.
Well, the
Oh, yeah,
cloak
then
woke you up, so it must like him.
Yeah, because it was a while. He had the cloak for a while before you came. So
Well, that might be because the cloak came into where I was sleeping. You know the room where all the warforges were? I was
Is that
in
where you
that
were?
storage room.
you
Oh.
were in there.
And you guys went to the other side and
It's a
teleported.
sharing moment.
Oh.
Next thing I know, I'm
Right.
standing there awake in front of the cloak. That
Oh.
So it did a minor teleportation and pulled him from the room next door.
Oh. Well, that's
Well,
exciting.
and we thought the cloak was much more awesome, but
I
apparently.
know. I thought,
Exactly.
like,
It just produced a Warforge from time. Now he's just down the hall.
I did. I thought he had come from
Yep.
like some other planet. That's exciting.
We have our school now.
Wow,
We're
you've just
all-
had
I
some
think-
bubbles burst right here.
I think
Well,
we
I
all
got a
discovered
legend
we're less cool now.
their bubbles are none of my concern at this point.
No, each
They
one,
just told me a void elf had the cloak.
Yep.
True. She died
But
though.
she gave it to him, so does that make him like? Did she ordain him ranger?
That's not how that works.
Oh.
But it means
Well,
that
why would
void
she-
elves might not be evil.
Yeah, she was a good void elf.
Ah.
This void elf might not be an evil, or the void elf that gave us the cloak.
I'm just saying void elves in general. I don't know how their society works.
I didn't judge the fact that she was a void elf.
Oh my god. Now, Void Elves'
You
lives
You know
matter.
what void elves are?
I
You know.
she died. It was tragic.
I want to go back and I'm not opening the door. I'm just sliding it open and asking him what his job is.
He's putting the cuffs
Oh.
back on as you come
Why
in.
didn't we think of that? What? He had the cuffs off?
Can I have those back?
You see him kind of do a couple little maneuvers with his
Look here,
fingers.
sir. If you're not gonna wear my gifts to you, I'm gonna take them back.
You notice that in his jacket's cuffs are little metal instruments, which he uses to pick locks.
I feel offended that you did not like the bracelets I bought you.
Sorry, War's the only one that knows this. I'm sorry, he just walked in.
I asked for-
Actually, hold on,
I
there's a
was
very good
noticing
chance that
him
he's
put
moving
them
anywhere
on.
near him. Pardon?
You said I was noticing him put them on, and I asked for them back, and you're telling me he just takes them back off?
Yep.
This door is locked, right?
Yes. Good lock on it.
Okay. if you start hearing noise from the other side of this door, stand with whatever weapons you have pointed at it.
Is there another way out of this room?
Nope.
Any ducts, holes,
Nope.
void elf size?
You'd have to go through the wall of the ship, the hull of the ship, to get out.
Can void elves do that?
I'm not sure he wants to do that.
I'm outside!
He wants.
Well, this kind of sucks. I want to be back
If he goes
inside again.
outside the hull, he's not going to be able to go anywhere. Literally.
So, you came in?
I'm going to walk back to Lily and hand her cuffs back. I'm assuming you have the keys for these.
You're a high intelligence character. You just realized he's handed you the cuffs back without asking you for the key.
I feel very offended that my friend did not keep my gift.
Maybe he'll keep the other ones on. They might be more comfortable.
You want to ask him if he'd rather them?
No.
Oh my god, that's okay. Can you talk to your friend and see if she likes me? Sorry, that's almost what it sounded like there, didn't it?
Excuse me, miss. But do you like the dubstep?
Do you like the dubstep? So yes, do you? Besides getting the cuffs back, did you want to ask any questions, War? Did you?
Yeah, I have some questions about.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and ask
check
questions.
to see if he has other things for the escaping. Did anyone pat this guy down?
I already told the Warforged if there's noise on the other side of the door to stand with their weapon.
What if he has
With a
some
rabbit
kind of
ready?
teleportation device or something on him? Look, I am very wary of men now after my past has made me skeptical.
I have no idea what is wrong with you, but I don't have time to try to fix that. I'm gonna go back to the door and ask him what his job is.
Okay, I'm coming with.
Okay.
He is Commander Elviziar Kali.
That doesn't tell me what your job is. It tells me your rank.
He is basically part of the Void Elf Armada.
Okay.
Huh?
What is your objective?
My objective was to find the cloak,
And then
It's on this ship. You found it. What's next?
to take it back.
To
the
who?
people.
Why?
Your culture really doesn't have that much for history.
I've been asleep for 300 years.
It is something that is part of our heritage and our past. When we overthrew the shackles of a matriarchal society and reached to the stars. It was a
What does
liberator.
this have to do with my dragon?
It has been an item that has been an instrument in change throughout the eons.
So why was there a void elf trying to escape with it and bring it to our world to give it to a ranger?
We have a skill roll here. You've got a very good question. That involves an insight roll for you guys.
An insight.
Yeah, insight roll.
Uh.
Kevina, since, Lily's already here and Moor's here, I
I
fully
actually
picture
have
that
a
your
star
character's
in
tagged
insight.
on to see what's going on, I'm guessing, right? So you...
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep, okay, yeah. Insight
I was yelling
rolls.
at him
You
about
knocked into my die and ruined my roll. I
saw that.
I think you ruined my roll.
Okay, guys, I've never witnessed that
pressure.
before.
No pressure.
like they literally bumped into each
They
other.
did. I've never seen that happen before.
I
I'm
didn't
going
know
to give you guys
collision was
both
on.
a reroll. I think I
No
rolled
one told me collision was on.
dice collision. I will let
Oh God. Oh. Okay. Here we go.
Mulligan.
natural
Oh, thank
20.
I fixed it.
Kavina fixed it.
Okay, definitely when you said why was there the dark elf reason, he's very subtle about it, but Kavina, but you've got to these other people, they probably don't notice it, but you've noticed the way his eyes, the little literally the little crow's feet, this corner of his eyes, all that kind of thing, the way his eyes kind of just couldn't look directly at, this entire conversation, the glow was intense. Yet there's a slight shifting in the glow. Maybe it's like the eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like the color shifted a bit. Like he's shifty-eyed. Something. That's definitely a very good avenue to push. There's some sort of guilt or something he doesn't want to talk about that, because it sounds like that could be the fact that you knew it was another Void Elf, that seemed to be the big trigger for him.
So who was this Void Elf?
Oh my god, is this his ex-girlfriend? So you're saying you're single?
Again, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
I've been with you for 3 days straight.
So,
now.
are you saying this out loud, by the way? Are you saying, was she your girlfriend? Are you saying stuff like that?
Well, I'm saying it to my friends. I'm not screaming it at him.
But he'll probably...
If you're verbalizing it, I am verbalizing.
I'm definitely verbalizing it.
I am verbalizing. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Look, the DM made the Void Elf look like Sephiroth. I'm not in my right mind right now.
I posted that picture of Morgan a while back. Defeats the female group without even rolling a die.
I would not trust me around this person. I'm just saying that right now. Look what happened last time the DM threw someone at me.
Yep.
Then I went, woo!
What happens every time the DM brings any NPC into the game?
What can I say? I'm friendly and I'm lonely and I just need a lot of friends.
You're a collector.
So yes, his face does change again. A little bit of Kavina, since you got that natural 20 on, you don't have to roll again. He's now got guilt and a little bit of anger at the mention of this person. This shit. And when they made the comment about a girlfriend or something like that, it just intensified. So,
what's his name? What's his name?
Elvizar.
Elvizar. Ziar. Can I call you Ziar?
You can call me Callie.
Callie?
Kali. That's my family
Callie.
name.
Okay.
That works.
I mean, I'm thinking about Cali.
California. Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. Or no sleep, or yeah.
I am sorry.
Did we ever take that good night's rest?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the next day now. You all rested up and all good. You slept in a lot.
Her ship crashed here. Her ship crashed here, and she didn't make it.
Good. He actually has a look of relief. Totally did. Oh, okay.
Okay, you're definitely not a good
swam into you again?
She betrayed my trust, got close to me, and then took the cloak.
Oh my god, you're my kindred spirit. Let me tell you.
She died, so I'm sorry. Or you're welcome. I'm not sure which one there. But, yeah, that's... Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do with the cloak?
Good question.
Fate guided me to the discovery of the cloak. And
Fate also guided the cloak away from you.
Well, he doesn't like that logic. You just see his eye, the glow in his eyes, this kind of... You start to notice that there's something central in his eyes, like a point where he sees. And
he's got weird eyeballs.
And it just, the glow, just like almost as if basically you've got a central point that glows a lot brighter than the rest, and the rest of the eye is filled up by it. But when that central part moves a little bit, the color, do you know what I mean? It gets brighter on this side and darker. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost like the light source is just moving slightly in the eyes.
That's actually quite terrifying. Why would I have a thing about eyeballs.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I did not mean that.
That is slightly terrifying, but.
And of course, you had that Jin eyeball spell that went off the one time. Yeah. So, yes, basically she betrayed him and was able to remove the cloak, which usually is only through consent or death.
Wait, she got the cloak off of someone while they were still alive and didn't want to give it up. Wait, you can get the cloak off of someone without them dying?
With consent, apparently.
Oh.
Or
he didn't have the cloak. He was on a quest to get the cloak.
No wonder he doesn't like the handcuffs.
So effectively, they were both working together as partners in more senses than one on this epic quest to find the cloak. When we finally came close to getting the cloak, she drugged him. He woke up later and she took off. She already got the cloak, and the other person was dead, but he wasn't too sure how whether his death is how the cloak came across. But as far as he knows, she was way gone before the body was fully dead.
Why would she want to take the cloak?
Have you not?
Well, she didn't take it to wear it for herself.
She was wearing it.
She was wearing it.
Was
she
she?
was using it to pilot whatever ship she was on.
That's true, but I mean,
She also died. She didn't do it very well.
It is a great artifact engine. It is also a helm, 2 magical devices used to pilot
we know that
the
part.
stars. But it is part of the grand ship.
the what, huh?
So what you're saying is that we don't need this ship. There's even a better ship for him to have.
It is a living ship that has a city on its back.
So that it's like a giant turtle swimming through space?
Oh my god, it's the motherfucking Flat Earth.
It is more like a manta with its tail coiling up to support the back of the city.
Oh, that's so cute. Can I have it?
What is wrong with you?
There's a lot wrong with me. You don't know my past.
No, I don't. I've known you for 30 hours.
True.
True.
I have severe abandonment issues and I collect things.
Space whale.
I've gathered that much.
I'm trying to fill a void of something somewhere somehow.
Puma's made the comment, maybe he would like a shank collar. We are now officially called the Cobalt device the shank collar.
That is such a
So,
good word.
you wanted the collar. Not collar.
Igor,
Reading
can
collar.
you give me one of those collars
you.
made, please? In a dark elf, void elf size?
You were wanting the cloak to power the city living ship.
No, if it's living, it doesn't need the power. But it's he said it was a piece of it.
Yes.
So why'd you want it?
At this point,
We're all friends here.
okay, Lily, make an arcane roll. At this point, he's got a look of confusion on his face. He tells you it is a great artifact that many people don't even know exists.
I'm a dick.
Wow.
I blame you wasting your 19 before the game started.
Guys, our rolls have been crap. Like, just look.
Actually,
I know.
Kavina, you got a 20 on Insight. You can do a blind roll for Arcane at disadvantage because it's not really your thing. But actually, no.
I have a +1 in Arcana.
Actually, no disadvantage. It's a field that a ranger may come in contact with. So regular Arcane roll.
It covers your magics too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have magics, you just don't specialize.
You're on a
Daniel!
roll. He's under
I'm
a
no longer
geese.
The arcane person in
As
this
he
group.
tries to explain to you the benefits of he's got the dice icons. Kavina, as he explains to you his drive, his need, there's holes in his logic. Even he is convincing himself he needs to. It sounds like he's under a curse or a geas.
Do you have a sword
Like to be under
that
curse?
talks to you? Does your sword talk to you?
Oh
that
my
what
god,
will come out of
please
the
tell me the sword talks
And
to
then,
him.
actually, Kavina, you also remember the comment that anyone that's come in contact with the cloak will somehow know and remember where it is. They are cursed.
He's
But
worn the cloak. Or he's touched the cloak.
He's come in contact with it.
Cloak. When did you come in contact with the cloak, sir? And how?
Does the cloak want you to find it? Are you okay?
He's now you
Kavina.
realize
Does the cloak
Kavina,
pull every living thing that it's come in contact with it together?
at this point it just pauses. Oh no, it's not just living.
It pulls the dead things to it too?
He tells you that there's a lich out there that is questing for it as well.
Oh,
dear
is
God.
this lich happen to be in an orb?
There's a demi-lich.
What? I'm a demi-lich. I'm a bit more powerful, even though I'm trapped in an orb. I kind of lose the whole
How is a
power.
demi-lich more powerful than a full lich?
Demon lich.
No, demi. I don't know. It's like a demigod.
Half lich, half something else, thus having powers of both.
Well, what's the something
Don't
else?
question it, man. It's just like
What is
flammable
it?
or
I never
inflammable.
asked
They
him
both
what
mean the
his
same
something
thing.
else was. This is my new best friend, and I don't even know what his other half is. I feel like a poor.
There is no half. A demi-lich. I'm more powerful than a regular lich.
Are you?
Yes.
Well,
But
I
I'm
mean, a
stuck
demi.
I'll
back
take
in
your word for
I'm
it.
trapped.
We've been friends
You could
for a
let me
while.
out. I did mention that. You could let me out.
We're not.
I can't let you out because you'll leave me.
I'll leave you with gifts.
What kind of gifts?
Name it.
What?
At this point, the sword. Hey! Get in line! Another cursed item here has my say on her. Sorry.
Look here, sir. If I let you out of the orb, you'll leave me. I'll never see you again. It'll be like Morgan all over again. You'll probably take my rod with you, and I can't handle the stress of that right now. I'm on the verge of breaking.
No, that being said, yeah, he's under Aegeus. He doesn't realize it, of course, but he's come in contact with that cloak, and now, for some reason, he doesn't have the cloak. He craves the cloak. And he's been able to track it. And then you also realize that there's one other person that's recently come in contact with that cloak that's no longer with you guys. Magazia.
Oh, son of a dick.
I have a question. Did she die?
No, she
Oh,
escaped.
she got in a.
I
she
thought
got
they
in one
blew
of our-
up her ship.
You're
No,
on
you
the ship
told-
that she was on.
I know, but I thought
The
that
ship
they...
she was on, yeah, got badly damaged. We don't know for sure, though. That is the question.
Okay.
We don't know for sure.
That's what I was wondering, if she actually died, because I was a little bit...
She did. The ship did take damage. A lot of their ships took damage and broke because the giant bone ship that this guy had literally had organ cannons that just kind of fired and just shattered all the other wooden boats out there. It was a devastating thing, and that ship got badly damaged when this thing happened. Whatever it happened.
So, did Magazia have the cloak on?
Nope, but she came in contact with it.
I've come in contact with it.
Yep.
But we're still near it.
Yep. You haven't been deprived of it.
Huh. So, he's like obsessed with the cloak and he doesn't even know it?
Nope. He's under its skis.
Should we tell him this?
You never tell an alcoholic they're an alcoholic. They have to come and realize it themselves.
Excuse me, sir, but you're the cloak's bitch.
Hi. Hi there. I'm Elviziar. Yeah. I'm under a geese. Hi there, Elviziar. How's your geese? Well, it's been 7 days without thinking about the cloak. Yay! Sorry. They're all sitting in a chair. I'm the Lich. Ooh. It's been 14 decades since I last thought about the cloak, but I'm thinking about it now. Damn you all.
It's just like the game.
Look here. Alcoholics Anonymous has not been proven to be that effective.
What? Diablo 3 on Switch? There we go. Thank you for distracting the entire DM at this moment. No.
What happened?
Diablo 3 came out
is
for
on
Switch.
Oh yeah, didn't they also release some Diablo shit on fucking mobile?
A lot of mobile stuff's come out. Like the Rune Quest thing I saw earlier. You guys were chatting.
RuneScape.
RuneScape, yeah. Anyways. So, yes,
Sorry, I'm
he is...
back.
He's so... we were just joking that the poor guy's probably going to go to, like, a Geas Anonymous. Hi, my name is Elfziar.
Oh, I
I've been
have
under
the
a
healing
Geas.
properties. He doesn't need it.
But no, he doesn't seem to be aware that he's under the curse, of course. But
Okay.
you also listen to what he's saying, though. This is a great artifact. It's like, if you want to use a human metaphor, it's like if Excalibur actually was a real sword and one of you guys came across
Hey, who's
it.
saying it's not real?
Well, no, I'm just saying, but no, you know what I mean? Like, and suddenly
Arthur was
you're on the
real.
trail. You know, it's like the
Who
money
is it
pit on Oak
real?
Island. I mean, you know. But the only thing is, he's risked it. You don't know exactly the full history, but this guy's risked a lot, including doing tactical things. Like, no commander should lead a raid onto a ship. He should come on afterwards, right? He came leading the group for this thing. That's not a good tactical.
So
And
he
now
is
you-
hot for this cloak like you don't even know. Good to know.
But did he
How
tell us
old
what
are
he
you?
wanted to do with it?
Sorry?
I want to ask him how old he is.
He is 876.
Oh, goddamn. Does he like younger women?
He is almost a century. He's almost a millennia old.
Did you
Asking
tell us
for
what
a
he-
friend, of course.
Did you tell us what he wanted to do with the cloak?
No, he hasn't.
He has. You don't think he's too clear on it either. I almost want to quote the Joker here.
He
I'd run
keeps
after
going-
a car, but I don't know what to do if I grabbed it. You know what I mean?
He keeps going like this, like he scattered. No, don't know.
He basically
just
it's
wants
like no, he's the cloak.
He's
it's
making
fate,
up
it's
reasons
destiny.
he wants it,
Yeah.
but then he's making up other reasons that put holes in the first reason.
So that's where you start to realize that this guy is obsessed. He's trapped under it, and also that means
He's addicted.
Oh, honey, bless your heart.
And
I don't know how to help you.
I mean, we could kill him, but
Oh, but that seems really harsh. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad
but
guy.
he also did just say that there's a lich coming after this too.
We might need him. Because, you know.
Do you want to be our friend?
Swear to God.
at this point, you notice like this is a person that's probably been in boardrooms. He's been in tactical things. He's been very official and by the book. And you're like you know like you'll be our friend. You're like
Yeah. You want to be our friend? Sometimes we do mosaics, and I have a mosaic in the works of this beautiful nebula.
Sorry.
Also, I have another pair of hands.
He's just slowly backing up. He asks
guys,
if
I
by
think
any
we
chance
can
you
munch his
have
strength.
any
Oh.
Kender blood to you.
Say what?
If you have any Kender blood.
What blood?
Kinder?
It's
What's a Kinder?
distinct bloodline of halflings found on a planet far away.
Oh.
They have wanderlusts and they do talk a lot.
Am I part one of those?
Wait, does Butter count?
He doesn't know who Buddha is. He's finding this very awkward. He tells you that he is more than willing to help, but you've got to understand he needs the cloak. And as you are talking to
tell you
him,
right now,
you realize
you
you
aren't-
can't trust him around the cloak. The first time he sees wind, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but if you try to kill him, I'm going to kill
No,
you.
he's not saying this. I'm saying this is more what the way he's acting. He might be able to give you his word, but
I
how?
know.
Yeah.
We understand. You need the cloak. In all honesty, the guy is somewhere on the ship. We don't know what the fuck happened to him.
He's
What
taking
do
a
you-
cat nap.
Literally.
He is a cat.
I know. That's why it's like, wow.
He collapsed after we went poof.
The jump would have taken a lot out of him, I would guess.
And we were already tired.
We
We've
were
been
already
awake for
tired
a
as
long
it.
time.
Do you know what that means, though? He's now looking off nowhere because this is just a wooden wall. So he's doing that dramatic look off to a wooden wall, but that means the grand ship is somewhere in this area.
Oh
Tried
shit.
to go home.
Do they have food?
He tells you everything on board is magical. Climate control, weather, everything.
Do they have cookies?
They
Oh,
could just
can't-
create them on a command.
Oh, I was
Do they
gonna say,
have
we can't go
coffee?
there if there's no cookies.
Do they have coffee shops? And would you like to get some coffee with me?
He is now looking kind of confused. He's wait, did you
You
just
guys
come on
are
to me?
going in all.
Yes, I just came on to you. My God, dumb.
Wow, does he?
Look here, I have an army of things that I collect. Has he not noticed this?
No, because he doesn't know you're in charge of all these warforges.
I'm talking to a demi-lich and an orb.
Slots
There's a
seems to still
freaking
be
little
broken.
cobalt following me around.
Your link to the demi-lich is mental. So unless you're talking out loud while you're doing mental communication,
Well, he might not be
Hello?
talking out loud, but I
Hello?
should.
Sorry, look that in the other game, he's talking into his hand for the mental communication. Gets the gems in his hand, right? So it makes sense.
I haven't figured out the telepathy thing. I'm literally just talking out loud to all my things, like a crazy person.
So, other than that, he is willing to help, but he is kind of jonesing for the cloak.
if you try to kill Wind, I will kill you. Without hesitation.
I've seen him do it before. When you kill him, I call dibs on the hair.
Okay.
Wait, did you just call dibs on his mullet?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
After I kill him, you
When
can
that body gets looted, I call dibs on the hair.
When I kill him, you can have the entire thing.
Well, you get the sword.
We'll keep the items. You can have the body.
I kind
I'm
of
not
sort of
that
want his
kind of
armor.
creeper.
His armor is nice.
It's leather.
It's
I might
pretty.
take the jacket, though.
I kind of want it.
And it doesn't seem to make that much of a noise, not even a creaking sound or anything when he's walking around in it. Like, you know, that
Perfect.
leather sound? It's not. It seems to be very quiet.
Perfect.
It's well worn.
And it's a dark armor that doesn't seem to have that much of a shine to it.
I like it.
At this point, he's a little nervous. One person's eyeing over the sword, the other's looking at the
Dividing up
outfit,
his
the other one's
body.
looking at his
He didn't
hair.
accept our friendship, okay? So now we're just picking apart his body
So
part.
here's the thing. You're very beneficial to us dead. Don't give us a reason to kill you. Wink, wink.
From my understanding, if it's trying to go home, if we just wait for Wind to wake up and let it take us to where it wants to go, we have no need for you.
Oh, I have need for him.
At this point, you see him kind of pause, and he starts calculating. He's just looking around the room, looking at you guys, looking in the hall behind you guys.
The door is shut. We're talking through the slit in the door.
Oh, I thought you were in the same room as him.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. He handed me his handcuffs. I'm not opening that door again.
Alrighty. At this point, he seems to agree. Are you going to let him out?
Why would we let him out?
Because you said I was going to be your friend, and do you keep all
Huddle,
your friends
huddle,
locked
huddle,
up?
huddle, huddle.
Hold on a second.
I
He
never
almost
said
stops
be
the
my
comment,
friend.
except for her.
should
Do you
wait
keep
till
all your
Wynn
friends
looks
locked
up.
up?
What?
He said, do you keep all your friends locked up? And then he pauses to do an exception to that, except for her pointing to Lily. Do you guys usually keep your friends locked up?
I never claimed you were my friend.
He did not accept my friendship, so...
Look here. I only lock up my friends sometimes. This is not a normal thing.
Hey, Ellie.
But
Alrighty.
I think he should not come out until Wind wakes up.
Which may not be this gaming session.
I'm fine looking at him from afar through the slit.
Which was
door.
cool. I was gonna have
Handle
Vit Rabbit's character out cold for a little bit, but now I've just taken that out cold a little bit to magically induced. So it's like, you know, he seems to be okay, but he's in this kind of a limbo, and you can understand why it was easier for him not to make the session, in a sense, unless one of you guys bumped your head, and when that ship did the whole thing, you would have bumped your head, and you two are in a unnecessarily long coma.
I'm so glad I'm not in a coma right now.
So, that being said, 2 weeks at best, he said, maybe less, in a direction that was done. The navigators got it plotted in. You've got the power. If there is somebody magically inclined amongst you, he does believe, he looks to Lily, you did something with the orb. Would you be able to take a look at the engine?
Yes, but I do have one inspiration because my rolls have not been. I'm a little distracted today with my arcane arts. But
Oh
I'll
yeah,
try my-
everyone should. Is this 1 or 2 for this game? This is a 2, isn't it? Yeah, it's 2. Everyone should start with 1 inspiration. Basically this game has 2 inspiration. You got that, Kev? Yeah, there we go.
But it's okay because Kavina's been picking up the slack for my distraction. Look, you put a Sephiroth looking motherfucker in front of me and you expect me to roll.
All right, and this was in from book 1, the cutscene.
It was.
Yes, but now he's aboard the ship.
I know. Okay, what do we need?
All right. Oh, you basically check out this device. All right, you get what looks like a kiln. It looks like some sort of an 8-foot tall, about 5-foot round kiln that you'd maybe put bread into or whatever. It's got the slight dome. It's a little wider at the base. It's got a kind of a open area where you'd stop stuff in. But inside of this kiln is a green flame, trademark Mislav, that glows inside, and you see fragments of crowns, of jewelry, of rings, of magic bracers, of cloaks destroyed and dissolved. And in there currently is a magical sword. The sword itself seems to have some sort of magical runes all the way on it and all that stuff, and it's glowing cherry red inside of this furnace.
I picked up a sword, it didn't go good.
This is an artifact helm. It needs magic items. In the destruction of the magic items, it powers this thing, and it's one of the most powerful helms to have.
I'm assuming cursed items don't count as magic items.
Sorry, what?
Cursed items don't count as magic items.
No, they're still magic. But you can't
get rid of your sword.
Nexelbane? Nexelbane?
I kind of want the sword that's in it.
Go ahead. Go reach into a furnace. Just reach in and grab it.
That's fine. I made of wood and metal. I'll heat up too.
What if you fuse together and then I can never have the sword because it's part of you?
It's part of your body.
I can never use two-handed weapons again.
Damn it! It was my butt scratching hand too. All right.
So
and it seems to be glowing intently, but you just notice that there are cracks on it, and some of that.
Oh, if there's cracks in the sword, I don't care anymore.
Oh, the cracks! Oh yeah, cracks on the sword and all that stuff. But the kiln itself has what looks like damage and that to it. You'd have to do an arcane roll. You're going to need high, but you have no advantage, nor do you have any disadvantage. And you
my disadvantage today has been the fact that I can't roll shit. All right, here we go, guys. Cross your fingers. Cross them so hard.
15. Look at it. 15's good. 14. Basically,
5?
14. Like basically, just to let you know, some dice rolls are levels of information. 14 is the base. 16 would have been a bit more. 18 would have been a lot more, and 20 and up.
Avina, do you want to give a go at this?
You were pretty good earlier with the gears. I'll tell you what you get, though. You do get the first bit of information there, Lily. But if Kavina, do you want to do a roll or not?
Sure. I got a +1.
By the way, because it was a charm and a gears, as a ranger, you would be somewhat familiar with that kind of stuff going on. 15! You'll know the base information, too! It looks like... First off, it is damaged. That was... that you know, probably a 10 would have told you that. But what you can tell is you guys saw wind and how that weird electricity and energy when his feet were on the ground and it attached to the boat and his hands. This thing doesn't look like it's attaching to a thing. It may have been somehow broken from being connected to the boat when he took over control.
Oh, great. He's breaking everything.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
And by the way, it's quarter after. It's 9:15. Did you guys want to take a 10 or 15-minute break?
I am gonna grab a snack.
Yes.
Or 10 minutes, 15? What would you like?
15.
15? You got it. All right. So on the half hour, we are going to be back, guys. So
I'm gonna go get all my bad rolls out during this, if you guys don't mind. I'm just gonna roll until I stop rolling. Gonna keep rolling. Really?
Wow. That's not even a die 20. Sorry. Those are die 12s you're rolling now.
Get all my bad rolls out. Reorganize my dice here.
There we go. And I'm just going to forget that I've muted my mic, but I'm going to mute it. There we go. So we're going to be back on the half hour. There we go. All right, everybody. I was muted. Now I'm not. 45,748 till world number 1. Welcome back, everybody. So, yes. So, you've kind of had an interesting conversation with the guy that really needs that cloak badly. And I don't know what you're walking away with from that conversation with him.
That he needs that cloak badly.
You see Sawbones just kind of running to you guys, right? And Sawbones is kind of coming up to you guys. He says he's looking at Lily, the commanding officer, as it were. We've got a situation with your friend.
What?
Oh, guys, I didn't touch him. They called me.
Which friend and what the fuck happened?
The friend?
Alphonse?
No, probably the cat.
The cat? I don't know. I have lots of friends.
The one that's unconscious. Or...
Well, I would assume that Bones would not be the one they call for the cat, considering he can't even figure out his thumb from his ass.
No, that's easy. Then he starts to turn around. Okay, we get the point. So you guys quickly head there. You get to the room upon which that Wind has been resting in, and he's not there.
Oh, fuck a dick. What happened?
Who let him leave?
We didn't.
What happened?
Well...
Who let him teleport?
We called the doctor when we found him this morning. The cloak had wrapped up and mummified him. He was
in a
He was in a cocoon. It looked like a cloak cocoon. So,
and let me guess, the cloak imploded on itself and teleported away.
We don't know. We went to get Bones.
And you didn't leave one person to sit there and watch him?
Yes. The fact that he chose to guard the door to make sure no one walks in may have been not the best orders to give him. We didn't think he was going to go anywhere.
The orders were to watch over him. Not to guard him.
At that point, the other guy's just pointing to him. That was his job. I was watching the door. I did my job. He went for Bones. But you told him to watch over him. He went to get Bones because he was watching over him, and there was a problem. So
he should have sent you to...
But I wouldn't be guarding the door. Technically, by the book, it was his job to look after Wind.
And he should have sent a runner to go get Bones.
We didn't have a runner. It was just the two of us.
Your system is flawed and idiotic.
I'm sorry, I'm just a day and a half old. I was literally born yesterday. Two Warforges just standing
We need to get these guys their upgrades. Oh my god. I have an army of idiots!
Yes, you do.
Well, we haven't been able to connect. Nope, haven't gotten a good signal for the updates.
Oh my god. Why are all my friends idiots?
Don't you realize any good villain... Oh, uh-oh.
I take offense to that.
Where's Alphonse? That's a very good question. Alphonse has not yet been seen with you guys.
Where the fuck is Alphonse?
Where did he go? He was with us when shit happened. When shit hit the fan.
Give me a second.
Why wasn't Alphonse the one watching over Wind?
Give me one quick second here. Sorry, guys. Just a quick chat. Not going to say anything, but Wind maybe, voice-wise, joining us soon. Which also means the cameras will shift. But he's still feeling a little under the weather. But I just set him the offer. If you wanted to come in late, we're good with that. I'm just saying. So we're just seeing.
Now that his character's gone.
Well, no, his character. Oh, well, this is the best part. Do you guys go investigate? Somebody that has some sort of good tracking or skill. Oh, look at that! Sorry.
I can do that.
I mean, I would hope that I can do that too.
Also, I just want you to know that I apparently talked so loud that Zoom was reminding me that my mic was muted. I have never seen that happen before. It had like words across my screen that said, "Your mic is muted. Press this."
Wow. That's why you were quiet. It's like, oh, what? Yeah. So.
It was concerned. I didn't want you to hear me crunching my pickles. Like.
Did you just have cereal and pickles?
No, pickles and the last little bit of. This is the last piece of cheese curds.
Cheese curds? Pickles and cheese curds.
I love
The last piece.
I had just had Renset grab some cheese and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, thanks. And it was the jalapeno Havarti. Oh, it was so good, but I can't eat. Like normally, I'll cut a chunk of cheddar and that'll be my little munchy thing, right? Because it's the great keto snack cheese. But you can't really do a whole stick. Well, I couldn't because it was like really hot. It was really good. But I just chop them up into small pieces and put them with my eggs.
I wish I could eat cheese like a lot.
So the cameras may shift. Siren, I'm looking at you. Because we'll have an extra body coming in, and I might have to quickly compensate, even though he might just do voice. We're going to keep the skull up.
It's okay. Everyone can see my crunchies.
Just put a mask on.
Just put a mask on.
What was I checking? Can I check
Yes.
something?
Roofing's not really doing.
Basically, survival. You can do a survival check right
What
now.
about-
I'm real good at that. Hold on.
I'm good at that too. I do recon.
Oh, yeah. You do recon.
Something has happened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Lily kept rolling until she got good rolls.
Okay.
Yes. Oh
Nope.
no.
Not a clue. And hey, guess what? War saves it. He hasn't left the room.
Oh, is he invisible?
Yes.
Oh,
There's still displacement on the bed. The cloak is wrapped around him and is now gone invisible. For some reason, it's
I mean, is he
protected him
still-
and made him go invisible.
For some reason, the cloak is making him hide really well.
Wind, it's okay. You don't have to be scared. You can
I'm
come
not
out now.
Not sure that it is wind.
and he joins the chat when I say that. That was fun. That was fun. Okay.
I'm just letting him know. What do I miss? Hello, you are waking up now. Waking up. So... so... well, I'm talking out loud here. You are waking up, so... RP that. It's like, you're just waking up, so RP that. Hopefully he'll be... Oh, he just has joined, it would seem, as I now
That's what I was saying. I said, you can come out now, and he joined.
That was beautiful. So,
It was magical.
alrighty. So, we're just going to have to do some fixing of my...
Apparently, Sheila's playing my barbarian now.
Oh, okay.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Punch
alright.
the
And
things.
just-
morning.
Good.
Also, hello.
I hope you're feeling a bit better there. But yeah. Alrighty. So we're just going to fix some of the camera stuff. Wind, me. Alright, so zoom number 1 has to be fixed, which is me. So hey guys, this is behind the scenes work as we... So,
I don't know.
Apparently, I became the DM.
hey, I hear you're working towards that.
I am, but
Alright, so, okay, I'm positioned that way. Okay, I had to see where I was... Oh, no, all the zooms. Really? Oh, I know why that did that. That's my bad.
I am working towards that. But I have a roommate that every time I give him one little inkling, he starts throwing things at me and making me think millions of other things.
I think I have to leave and come back. I broke it, guys.
Uh-oh.
job.
I broke everything. And did I get the game table? I got the game table back up, but Zoom is now gone. So, please stand by. We are suffering technical difficulties. Please stand by. We are suffering technical difficulties. So effectively, Wind. This is the audio-only version of it right now. Yes. All right. So we're gonna add zooms one by one. Here we go. Siren, you go. Wait, you're gonna change yours as what? You're gonna pop up for a second there.
Did I wave?
Put Kevin in front if you want. There we go. Yeah, I'll be popping up a few times. You can watch the where is it? Game capture. I think that's what I was using. Add source. Zoomy. All right, it's coming up now. Bang! Done. Done. There we go. And then I just crop. And I crop. This is all behind the scenes. Whoa! Wrong one. Make sure you hold the Alt button when using OBS to resize your thing. To resize your thing. I wish it was that easy, really. Alrighty. And... there we go. And then I just gotta do the same thing again. Derp, derp. Add source. Zoom. Derp. And then we quickly get the Sheila Bobby going now. Oh, dang it. Alt is your friend. There we go. You know how long it took me to find that out? And it's one of those...
It's just strange, because usually it's shift.
Yeah.
It is usually shift.
So I don't feel that bad that it took a while for me to figure that out.
Don't feel bad.
I mean, it wasn't last OBS, was it not shift?
I missed...
Mine did it automatically. Like, it would automatically, like, keep your proportions.
Oh, I have some issue with that for some reason. Because remember, that's why I've got everything on one screen now. Because if I click between screens, it kind of forgets. There we go. And then one more for Lugnut. And so, Wind, I'm just going to do a vocal, recap here. But as you may remember...
You went
if I don't.
Well, no. For last game. Last you remember, you guys have been up for over 30 hours. And you had taken potions to keep you going. You had taken over the ship and wrestled command of that ship. Right? And now...
Repeatedly, those people were determined.
And then, all of a sudden, the bone cathedral-like ship came out of nowhere, blasted you a new one. Magazia, she left, got away, unfortunately, and then you guys were being boarded by dark elves. All shit's about to happen, and you were trying to squirt out trying to stop squirting out an alien out of your ass. True story. Alright, that really made the episode right there. And now...
I thought it was worth a try.
Now, you're waking up fully rested. You're waking up fully rested. And you hear Kavina whispering, "It's okay, you can come out now." And your body is wrapped up in your cloak like a cocoon. You're fully healed. You're fully rested, and you're lying on the captain's bed of a ship as the cloak pulls itself away from you. And you see a couple of surprised warforges that you don't recognize. Another warforge...
Out of curiosity, do I feel better than I have ever felt before waking up?
You feel like the last week has been non-stop violence, combat, confusion, etc. The last 30 hours of which have been non-stop. You just, you had a great week, you woke up, you're full of energy, there's that nice, it's got a little bit of a stale air smell around you for some reason. But other than that, you're feeling great.
The air's fine. I've checked it several times. It's fine.
So, you're waking up totally refreshed. It's almost as if it was all a bad dream.
Well, just except for the random.
You just
Warforged
dreamed our
down there
asses
that I
to
don't
the
know.
other side of the galaxy.
So you're waking up to these faces. Oh, by the way, Rabbit, you have to watch the VOD earlier because bubbles were broken, right? As both Kavina and War told the stories of how you got the cloak and how War came into existence. He wasn't pulled across the galaxy. He was in the next room, and you just zapped him a minor teleport over to him. That's all you did.
He was on our planet.
Oh,
He was in the room with all the other Warforges,
I was in the storage room.
with all the others.
And he thought that you were some like high up there ranger. And I told him the story that, we just got it off that elf lady.
pretty much.
Which burst
All right.
my bubble of making me think you're not really a ranger.
But we discussed that it is that you are a ranger, just like Siren is the overseer.
Yes,
He's the overseer
Kinda
now.
happened.
You're the ranger now.
I am the overseer forever. Not giving that up.
So,
Okay.
and by the way, there are 3 Warforges. Neither of them are Alphons. 4 Warforges if we include War. But 2 of them, and then there's a third one behind them that's kind of a stockier built Warforged who's got more of a bronze upper skull design in his face, a white shoulder pad with a red cross on it, and he seems to have some spatterings of oil and all that on his body and stuff like that. And he also has a bone saw, aptly so, in his hand. He was going to cut you free of the cocoon.
Glad we came when we
We
did.
told you not to touch him.
I am versed in fleshy fixings.
No, you're not. You stuck your finger in his ear, and then you stuck it in your ear and said you couldn't hear a pulse.
I
That
thought he
was
stuck
wrong?
one finger in his.
Whoa. What did I miss?
See, you're in the captain's cabin.
You got violated.
So what happened was.
See, what happened was...
What happened was.
By the way, Sheila Bobby is storyteller.
I'm the storyteller. Okay.
She told us. So everyone, sit back. Here's another story, Bobby. Here's another
Here's
story,
what
Bobby.
happened. So we were fighting the dudes. We won, by the way.
Oh,
Scary
good.
monster
Yeah,
rock
look, I
thing.
pull out my
That's good.
vorpal.
Where we-
Yeah, the bear.
It's good.
It's from
Still
the dire
here.
bear.
Tired?
All my friends.
Wrong story.
Wrong story. But anyway, so the scary world eater monster is still here. We won.
It's safe in magic now.
Yes.
Lily fixed it.
Magazia, we don't know if she's dead or not. She tried to escape. There was lots of pew-pews. You were trying to take over the ship. I don't really know what was happening there. We got tried to get boarded by the Void
No,
Elf.
we didn't try. They did board us.
But anyway, he's captured. We had a
Meanwhile,
conversation
Wind
with
is
him,
nodding with his big old eyes open.
and he's
Hey.
like, we talked to him. We tried to be friends with him. He didn't really accept our friendship.
He's
It kinda
obsessed
hurt
with your cloak.
He really wants your cloak.
You know what?
I think he's a
I'm following
little
the
upset.
conversation, but you just missed a big point. Poor
Oh,
Rabbit.
yeah, okay, so so dude is kind of obsessed with your cloak. It's a little crazy.
There's a lich after your cloak too, by the way.
There is a lich after your cloak.
yes,
We did
yes.
find that out. The void elf that was in the ship that you got your cloak from did him wrong. Did him dirty. Poor thing. I don't know. He's a little hurt by that. And then you.
He seemed pretty
created
glad
this
that she was
ring.
dead.
You created this ring thing and teleported us I don't know, miles and miles and months away from home. And
According to
die.
the Void Elf, months via Wayline, which are apparently really fast.
we don't know where we are. And that's kind of terrifying. And
The
and
Void,
Close
the Void
to
Elf
the
thinks.
flat Earth turtle.
Yeah, the
Yes,
Void
the
Elf
flat
thinks.
Earth-
Void Elf thinks that the cloak tried to take us back to where it belongs. In a living city that's on the back of a manta ray type thing apparently, and
Morning.
And they have
morning.
So there you go. You're up to date. Work with that.
I think I'll just have some breakfast.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. We only have like a month's
have a
worth
lot
of
of food.
supplies.
We have a month's worth of supplies. We
And it
don't
takes
know
a
where
couple
we
months to
are.
get back via wayline.
And where are the way lines?
About 2 to 3 weeks that way, maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know. This is a rough guesstimate.
I blame
From
your
a
cloak.
void elf obsessed with the cloak, but he doesn't know he is.
He didn't like it when I told him that fate must have taken the cloak away from him.
Because he believes fate was leading him. Well, what happens if fate took the cloak away from you? He
So
did not like
How
that.
did he get the cloak in the first place?
He didn't. Him and the lady void elf were on a big adventure to try to find it, and then when they got close, she drugged him, took the cloak, and then left. And now you have
Oh, so she was like pretty boy.
it. Sure.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yes, Lily and him, they connected on like
Me
spiritual
and the
level.
void elf are kindred spirits.
Yeah.
We have both had something stolen by someone else who betrayed us. Hashtag where's
And
my
now you have it. And then he's like really drawn to it. Apparently anybody that comes in contact with it is drawn to it, including a lich.
That's fun.
Yeah. So you have a lich chasing you too.
But it's okay because apparently my gummy lich is better than a regular lich.
If we let him out of his orb.
I'm not letting him out of his orb, believe me.
Won't he just want the cloak too?
I don't know what he wants, but if I let him out of the orb, believe me.
You know, I think the cloak is amazing and all, but people are a little bit overly obsessed, I think.
Right?
I mean, if this is what happens to people
I
that
want the
don't
cloak.
have the
I'll be
cloak,
right back.
if we get rid of the cloak, then you might become this way, and we might become that way, and I don't know.
Can we put the cloak in the artifact engine?
See,
Oh
fun
dear
fact,
God, no.
I can't
Sorry.
off the cloak.
See, he also made a comment of the only way to transfer the cloak is apparently via death or consent.
I don't want to give him the cloak.
Sorry, what was
I
that?
don't want to die. I don't want to give him the cloak, and I don't want to die. Good luck. I like this cloak.
A good cloak. Maybe.
She has a name and everything.
By the way, you also notice outside your window is a depth of stars. Better than any starry night, like even the cold winter nights.
Oh yeah, you haven't
And-
We
looked
have a
outside yet.
Zake incoming.
And
You
you're
haven't
just
looked outside yet, have you?
out the window, and there's like this purpley nebula that you can see in full color detail and everything just outside that window of yours.
Well, what's that?
I think it's called the Hooded Maiden.
What,
Yeah, that's what the
Right.
void elf said.
what is it?
I don't know.
Do
pretty.
you want to go ask him? He's locked
I don't know,
up.
I'm wearing
right
a
now.
cape, it's
No,
in
that's not a
danger.
good idea. Hate, obsession.
I know, but he's locked in a
Your
room right
character
now.
knows it's more than just an obsession. You made an observation that might also help. Like for a rabbit.
But I like this cloak, and I've named it, and it's mine. It's not a big
Yeah,
thing.
see,
No.
when you were in control of the ship, you also made the ship go creak, crack, crack, and then kind of destroy things. This is why we can't have nice things.
I only did that to one ship. And the last part, if that's what happened, wasn't my fault.
And directly after it happened, or while that happened, there was a little ring that teleported us here, and directly afterwards you collapsed, and I had to carry you here.
It sounds like I saved her ass.
I
Okay.
also,
I mean, you did make that citadel explode.
I
Yeah.
also.
The ring was only big
Well-
enough for your ship, and anything that didn't go through the ring was shattered.
I also may have thought you were dead for a little while.
All that
So did
happened-
I.
Turns out I'm not so good at medicine.
Yeah, Lily's the only is the real one that made sure that we didn't do a burial for
Well,
you.
you know why Lily?
Yes, but I also don't know anything about arcane anymore, unfortunately. I've
Hey, you did pretty good with that with the artifact helm.
Okay, the
engine?
reason Lily is so good with medicine is because of all the shrooms she keeps getting us to eat. But when Lily doesn't have the shrooms, she loses that arcane ability.
So you're saying we need to find some more of those mushrooms? And the stew, is it back at the house still?
I don't think you'd want to eat that soup anymore.
So, ideas.
I
You're all caught
want
up.
to do something.
Do you need a physical? Comes from the
No.
guy
Nope.
named Saul.
Bonesaw, go away.
No.
Bonesaw.
I've woken up. I've seen you with a saw who wanted to saw me or something, and I think I'm good
Medical reasons.
permanently.
Go
I'm
away.
not sure I ever need you.
No problem.
He fixes warforges, but he knows how fleshy creatures work, apparently.
He
That's-
does not.
That's
Mm-mm.
all right then.
He tried to check your pulse by sticking his finger in your ear.
I mean, I suppose. Nope. Nope.
You can check one's temperature with an ear.
Oh, sure. Who's flying the ship right now?
We're not moving.
Who's at the
But
helm?
we're also
right
not
now?
falling.
Why would we fall? There's no.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what the
when there was
thing
no
is. I don't know
control
what
of
it's
the
called.
ship,
I
When
know,
we
but
were-
we're not.
the
we're
first
not-
one to start falling.
There's no way for us to fall when there's no. I don't know what it's
There's
called.
no
but
what?
it's like, there's nothing pulling us down if we're not on
About gravity.
a planetary
Also,
map.
why
We don't know about.
We don't know
learned
about
about
gravity.
See,
We're
I'm
learning about
trying to
gravity.
figure out how to say this without.
We don't know
gravity,
what
because I don't know
causes
what gravity is.
Warforge. We're just surrounded by all this huge space.
Oh, so we're not near a planet at the moment?
No.
Oh,
No.
you see, well, the
The
planet
only
must
thing we
hold us
can see are
down.
stars.
Once we got out of the planet's circle sphere thing that was invisible, the ship was like weightless. It was kind of amazing.
Wait,
Then why do we have weight?
You're standing on the
I'm
deck.
not a magical person and all knowledgeable, okay? All I know is that the ship must create some sort of invisible bubble.
Ding, 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 ding,
Uh-oh.
ding, ding. At this point, you see the
That's not
Warforges
good.
just kind of pause, and then another bell starts to go off.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is
Death?
anyone using the helm at the moment?
It's broken.
Oh, the guy had the thing on. Remember?
Yeah, you made one of the navigators bleed out of his ears.
Or fixed him though.
At this point, you notice there's a hobgoblin kind of running in as he's quickly saying that we might have a Noyogi death spider coming.
Oh,
What?
now?
What now?
They're slavers.
All right then.
Oh no
Did you say the helm was broken?
The
Well, I mean, the one that
the
they
engine's broken.
the engine's
Or
broken.
engine is broken.
Mm-hmm. Like cracked. You broke it. Good job.
So
Essentially, the position we're in is because of you, and we're not okay with it.
But
what
we
you're
are.
saying-
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, I need to be the engine.
At that
Yep.
point, you just see his cloak seem to floof out dramatically,
That's a
and
good
little
idea.
dragon heads are either side.
Oh, he's an
The
engine.
dragons are back.
I'm going to go to the bridge.
Yep.
Where's the bridge, guys?
Is that what J-Face is?
Pardon?
It's where all the controls are. So
Oh,
that the...
he's in the brig. The bridge.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in the brig. Dickface is. The bridge is the main command area where the
Brig.
wheel is. Yeah. And nobody knows where Alphonse is. That's correct.
Where's
Oh.
Alphonse?
Yeah,
Where
where
is
the fuck is my
Alphonse?
friendo?
Did he get
Alright.
sucked out? Oh my god. I mean, at least he doesn't need to breathe.
Is he
We're going back for him.
Is he outside?
Well, all the Warforges were pulled in that were floating around in space afterwards. And there were some people that looked like they made it halfway through the disc, so their upper torso or lower torsos were seen floating around.
Oh.
As they
Did he,
literally
not,
were severed.
did he not make it through the disc?
He was with you guys. He
Yeah,
was,
that's
Alphonse was with you guys.
Really?
He was in the ship.
at this
did we
point, you
go?
notice the Warforges noticing you pounds. Who's Alphonse?
The big one that's like me
Dog?
but carries around him. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's been training some of the other soldiers to some of the combat techniques down in the bridge.
Oh, okay. If you
Hey,
could have told us
look,
he was gonna
Wolf
do that, that would be great.
Because
No
here we
offense,
are,
Wolf. No
just
offense,
freaking
Wolf.
out, thinking he's dead.
All right. So, not to interrupt or anything, slavers, some sort of spider ship.
Oh.
I need to be on the bridge.
Oh, right
I
this
don't
way.
know
The
what
hobgoblin starts taking you this way.
All right.
No, let's go a little quicker, Wind. I'm gonna take off running.
Boom.
All right. Boom. Go.
So basically, again, this is a trimaran type of ship. Okay, you've got a big central piece that's got that giant cannon on it, and you got the two smaller versions of the Greek-style warships with the ram
Well, we
prow.
lost one.
Sorry, you got the two of them. No, the one is damaged where the ship impaled it.
No. We lost one because
Magazia took one,
one.
and the other one was damaged by the thingy.
No, there was a boat part that dropped out.
Oh.
It dropped out. It was like on the two sides, the smaller like longboat type things that would drop escape ships, like escape pod type thing. You know, so basically, yeah, the ships. But basically, you also notice that there is like instead of having like 3 trimaran, I'm trying to get my camera. There we go. 3 trimaran. You got one that's kind of angled upwards. Another one's kind of. You see some of the metal and all that stuff that's being warped somehow, as the ship looks like it's buckled at some point and took structural damage.
Like I said, you made it creak and bend, and now it's not okay.
Would you rather be dealing with the Citadel ship?
No, because it exploded.
Thanks to him.
It only exploded because of the ring thing, apparently.
Yeah, but now that the ring thing put us in some place that we don't know, and now we have slavers to deal with.
Oh, please. Slavers is... It's like a step down from a Citadel.
There's also a big monster thing in the brig that eats like little creatures.
What?
Oh, the troll!
The troll-like thing that the void elf brought with him.
I don't have to tell
I
Wind
forgot
anything.
about that guy. We haven't decided if we like him or not.
You haven't even talked to him.
All right, then.
I was kind of thinking, that character from Final Fantasy, I forget her name.
Tifa?
The one that scares me?
Yes, Queena.
Yeah.
It's kind of like her. That's how I imagine this troll thing in my head. That she
Its
eats
mouth
everything.
is as wide as its neck.
It basically has a swallow attack for small characters.
Yeah, but can it cook? Because Queen
It
can
doesn't.
cook.
He eats it raw.
But we haven't decided if he's our friend yet, but that's down there.
That's
Odds
down there.
are he's going to be your friend.
So
They tried
you
to make
guys get
friends
up
with
to the
the void
bridge. As soon as you come up to the bridge, your cape just seems to. It's weird because it's almost as if he gets out to the bridge where the wheel is and all that kind of like the wheel is, and you see the cloak just reaching out and touching the walls and touching the floor and just moving around as he just kind of gracefully moves there. At this point, you see the one hobgoblin that's standing up there. He's got a little wrought iron crown, skinny little crown on. He takes it off when he sees you come into the room.
That's the guy you almost killed.
Oh.
No, that's the one that,
Actually,
that actually became
That's-
conscious again. The other one's not conscious yet.
Oh, he's now
Yeah,
up too.
when-
Actually, he was.
Oh.
He took a while. Some sort of blood on the skull, brain.
Well, if they had stopped trying to take over something I had rightly decided I was controlling. Besides, I could have just done this from my room and not warned you. You should be grateful for that. I'm pointing to the hobgoblin that just took off the crowd.
Yep, you got it. Mhm. You also notice that there is a goblin sitting there as well, working on some gears, and you just see Igor. Oh, hey! Igor seems to have a little stick in his hand, and it's got a little rope on it, and it seems to attach to a collar, and the goblin's nervously working, making sure he doesn't jostle the collar too much.
Oh yeah, and Igor made a little collar that if his goblins get too far away from him, they get stabbed in the neck.
Well, that sounds...
He made a freaking impaling choke collar for the goblins. Isn't he so useful?
Alright, so war.
That's my little cobalt.
Yeah.
What do you
Proud.
know about the cape? Because I'm wondering if I use the helm and become the artifact engine at the same time.
I know it's a
Who's
very
going to be
powerful
great?
artifact, and the void and the void elf said it was both a helm and an engine.
Well,
and
I
he
already
also
knew
said
that.
it's part, and he said it's part of the living city that it's trying to pull us to.
I'm pretty
All right,
sure he
then.
said it was living.
Yeah, it's a
cape is
living
living.
thing.
Well, I did name it, so hopefully it's not too angry that I named it. Alright, so I'm going to now stand over where normally someone would stand. Is there a chair or...
At this point, you just see the one hobgoblin kind of pause, just slides the chair forward for you into a little stool type thing.
I sit in the chair and I will now...
At this point, as he's saying it, you suddenly feel him he just kind of slumps in the chair a bit, and that electricity crackles over his body. You see it kind of rooting himself. The blue magical energies from the feet root themselves to the ground again, and his hands, when they touch the arms of the chair, the electricity starts crackling through, and his eyes just roll back. At this point, picture, if you will, you are comfortably lying down on your bed, and then somebody took your blankets and twisted you up into a pretzel. That's how you feel right now.
Is this before or after coffee?
Before coffee. Basically, your spine is in pain. Literally, your spine, your main keel is fractured. You are also aware that your one arm is limp and numb.
This sounds like some mornings for me. This describes some mornings for me.
And there's a trembling in your legs as it feels like the ability to walk is there, but it's being damaged. This shit feels rough.
I was aware of what happens to the engine. I wanted to immediately throw my engine on.
Yep.
And
your engine. You're part of the
one.
ship now. Yeah, the engine's going, but you're just kind of you're connected to the ship. You can take over and drive at the same time as well, apparently.
No, I just meant...
Yep.
Right, but wouldn't because my engine supersede that engine, so I wouldn't feel that engine?
Yes, but at the same time, you feel that it couldn't take over. Anyway, you feel that you're aware of the engine there, but it's broken. Like you don't have to overpower it. It's not connected.
All right, so quick question to the people around me. Can we remove the access ships on the edge?
That'd be a question for the hobgoblin.
Right, hence I asked the bridge crew if we can get rid of the extra ships.
They are designed to be separated, so we have a command ship with two little wingy parts on the side, and then the two smaller ships stay on the water to actually be... Yes, they are designed to separate. But right now, a lot of cargo, food supplies, and crew are in them.
All right,
the central area is mostly cannon.
Right, so if I remember properly, I can picture moving, and I can see how fast I can move in a given round, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so I want to get a base judgment on the speed that the tarantula ship is coming at us.
No problem.
And I would also like to measure how fast
your eyes literally start
go.
zooming around. You're not, like, basically, you seem to have that little zoom, but you don't know where you're looking. Space apparently is big. So you don't know where you're looking, but so that you have the ability to look, but you don't know where to look. So
where's the spider ship, people?
By the way, as he's saying that, his lips aren't moving, but you know the little the brass little pipe kind of conversation bit? He's echoing through
the intercom again.
Yep, he's through the intercom again. At that point, one of the navigators basically tells you 2 o'clock, 10 degrees up.
My 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock of the ship.
2 o'clock of the ship, so that would be your 2 o'clock.
All right, great. Sorry, I'm new at this.
You are the ship.
I am the ship. Okay, so I look.
And of course, this is what you get on the intercom. There's no real inner voice for poor Rabbit right now. Okay, right. I'm new at this. Okay. Meanwhile, down on the brink, he's awake. Guard, is that the Cloakmaster? Shut up. Clink.
I told them if there's noise from the other side that they should rear their weapons and point it at the door.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna walk. I'm just gonna say to Wind. Yeah. By the way, we put him in handcuffs, and he got himself out.
Quick question.
We didn't.
Why isn't he dead?
Fun story.
I felt bad.
He had more information than we did.
Right, but he's not going to give it to you.
He did.
He did. That's the thing.
He was very
Why didn't he give it
helpful.
to you?
I don't know.
I was really
He's stuck here too.
connected.
Late sexual
to
feelings
it.
for the cloak.
He
At
was
this point,
very.
the Hobgoblin Helmsman, sir, we got a combat situation going on. If I could tactfully give to you,
Right.
the Void Elf himself has the ability to see in the ultraviolet. He can see the weight
and
way
that.
lines create. So he was able to point us in the right direction towards a way line.
He's the
True.
one that told us a
That's
way
not-
line would be in about 2 to 3 weeks in that direction, roughly.
All right then. So,
Take that as you will.
all right. So as long as he stays in his cell, I don't have an issue.
Oh, don't worry. I told the guards that if he makes a noise to pull their weapons and aim at the door.
All right then. So, 2
Oh.
o'clock, 10 degrees up.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
10
I want to
degrees
go
up.
find the. I want to find the Warforged that has his weapon, and I want it.
Whose weapon?
The Void Elves.
What?
He has a
what was the
bitchin' ass-
weapon?
I don't know. It's some sort of blade in a sheath that we cannot get the other Warforged couldn't get out of the sheath.
Oh,
That
guys.
sounds fun.
My APC just kicked in.
I would say I saw a blink.
Oh, am I still streaming? I just
Yeah.
had the click happen of my little thing, and the lights flickered here.
It looks like you're still there.
I'm still going, but yeah, because I've got 2 of them now. One for my monitors and lights, because it was not strong enough for my computer, and then I got another one just in, which is certified for my computer. So they're both
okay.
on their own thing. So that could have been
Awesome.
a power supply issue. But yeah, it's windy as heck out of here, guys. Really windy hitting us. So that being said, you look in that direction, and what you see is something with 4 mandibles. Like 2 giant mandibles out like this, and 2 giant mandibles out on the underside. And then it's got a small part of the body, and then a big round bulbous side to it. So at a quick glance, it looks like a spider. But they look like 2 giant grappling arms. And then the little body, and then the thing coming out.
Nope.
No, thank you.
So it's like the salvage ship from Firefly. Never mind. It's fine. You don't have
Okay,
to.
yeah. How you got to explain to me how a preacher knows so much about. All right. One of these, you're gonna have to explain to me how a preacher knows so much about.
So
Never-
how fast is it moving, and how fast can I move with the damage I've sustained?
It's probably moving at a 4. Somehow that makes sense, like nautical markers or something like that. You know you can push to a 6.
How long can I maintain a 6?
You've never tested it, you think, for a long time. So you can
All right.
easily... Now that you're aware of this, you can outrun it. But also, it's come from somewhere. TIE fighters are too small to have a hyper...
So
Let's head
does that look
towards the
like
moon.
a ship, or it's headed towards the moon, not towards us?
No, it's heading towards you guys.
And does it look like a ship? I'm gonna ask over the intercom. Is this a attack cruiser, or is it like?
It's a Neogi slaver.
What does that mean?
They're gonna try to take our ship.
No, I know
make
what
us
they're
leave.
gonna try and do. I'm asking if it's like a satellite ship or like a main ship or.
I don't know,
Oh,
but
it's
we
a
have
main
no
ship.
cannon.
It has the ability to ride way lines. As they start to realize. That means there must be another possible way. Like, the ability to jump ships, the average teleport can't cover enough distance to allow what you did. It's a rare and fable ability to jump like you did. So, no, they wouldn't have done that. They must have come from a way line, or they've got a slaver's den close by. They could be a week or so off a way line just so they're not on the beaten path. Meaning there might be a Neogi slaver
So
pit.
the cloak guy might have been lying.
He could have been, yes.
I mean, he only told us one direction. There could have been others.
But at the same time, it's not unlike them to have a slaving asteroid or something off the beaten path a week or so away. So they're
Well,
not
you,
being...
you keep saying a week or so. We're talking about 2 to 3 weeks to get to the closest ley line.
No, 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean,
Can
know,
I? Now that I
We also have a big
control,
cannon.
do I have any idea? Can I see them, or are they? Is it not within my range of?
You can see them. It took you a while, but your eyes did the whole eagle zoom
No.
right in.
Way
It's small.
lines.
Oh, waylines? You
No, no,
are
no.
looking around, and you saw them before. Those nice little glows of light or whatever. And as you're looking around, you do see a faint ribbon. It's not a... basically, you know how you got the nebula effects going around and all that stuff, right? It's a slight little, like a wave, like a scene, the little scene waves, like a little wave of light, but it's really, really far off. It's on your left-hand side, and it's down a little bit.
And
So
at maximum speed, how
9
long would it take me
o'clock
to get
down
there?
10 degrees.
Yep, it is exactly what was said. So there, you can confirm with your vision inside this helm that there is a way line, and for you, it's probably about a week and a half. You feel the distance-wise, meaning you might be faster than their original engine was.
Okay. Right, but can I maintain that for so long?
You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel fatigued about it now, but you do. You've never.
But I've just started, and I have a mangled ship, and I don't. And I remember what happened last time I turned this off.
Yep.
I did not feel
like I
very
said,
good.
this is all new to you. The good news is you could easily avoid this if you wish to. You also sense that your center core is relatively unhurt. The cannon.
We have a
So,
big
what,
cannon.
shoot 'em?
All right. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way for me, because I know I'm coming over the intercom. I don't want to speak to everyone at the same time.
Yes, you are. Yep, definitely. I'm in the shitter. I can hear you too. Sorry. Everyone's talking back on the intercom, and you can hear everyone talking back to you on the intercom.
Fabulous.
You can focus. One of the many intercoms on the ship. Maybe you can focus and concentrate on an area.
Well, I mean, immediately I was just talking to the bridge crew, not the whole ship.
I'm in the shitter on deck 4.
That doesn't even make any sense. I've done this before. Why would I forget that because I specifically said I was just talking to the bridge.
Yeah, you are talking to the bridge.
There's a shitter on the bridge?
No. But no, you are talking to everybody on the ship for some reason.
So even though I specified just the bridge, I was still talking to everyone on the ship.
It would seem that way, yes.
So was something wrong with the communication system?
Mm-hmm.
During combat situations, it's open to everyone so they can communicate quickly and fast to anybody of the crew, including the ones stuck in the shitter. Thank you.
We're not in a combat situation right now. Go back to normal.
We haven't quite established a combat situation just yet.
As soon as you start thinking, you're having a thing, you guys hear a bunch of clicks and things going on, and a lot of little tube things
But I'd like
close.
to maintain a readiness state.
At this point, you just hear more clicking of the brass tubes.
I don't understand.
At that point, the helmsman pauses. If I can help you, there are 3 states: regular, readiness, and combat. You could almost give color codes to them if you wanted to. We prefer green, orange, and puce.
I
Use?
think I'm going to go with
Red?
yellow alert and red alert.
Okay, no problem.